She's like,
Fuck that noise.
Having three of them playing with each other is better than having one of us just wants to play with you all the time.
That's true. Honestly, that's really true. They're pretty self-sufficient.
So the internet says you should play a game either where you wear a shirt that has railroad tracks on the back, or you play the game while you nap, face down, what's on my butt.
what is the game?
The
I
game
used to
is
play Tooth Fairy. I get it under my pillow and she had to find it.
the game is what's on my butt. You lay down and nap, and the kid brings something and puts it on your butt, and you have to guess what it is.
Later, when we wake up. Okay, gotcha.
It sounds like a drinking game.
You're all invited. And no, it's not what's in my butt.
It will be.
That's why it's a drinking game. It gets there eventually.
Enough shots and it doesn't matter.
Invite Tab and it will be. OMG!
Oh my.
Wow.
Oh, that was too much.
I'm sorry. I'm apparently on a roll tonight.
I wouldn't have pegged a tab for the
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
It's Honey's fault, and I'm not even sorry.
Felix, look at Felix's face. Felix is like, oh God. What do I do?
Tab's face was the best.
It's just silence. Nothing but silence.
First, you didn't hear him. He said it first.
He didn't expect you to repeat it.
I'll just make sure everybody heard it.
Okay.
I love it.
Someone sabotaged a microphone on purpose.
Oh. OMG.
All right. Well then, recap time. So, last time you guys finished, after you finished off the butterfly swarm, you headed into the swamp proper. You rested there on the edge before beginning your journey in. Davi, you had a rather pleasant dream where you were told to keep an eye out for a traveler. And then, sorry, taking out my notes. You guys traveled into the swamp. You encountered a rather large alligator-like creature that took a particular liking to Rafferty. Then you guys began to encounter a lot of ghost-like individuals. Davi took it upon herself to, release a lot of their spirits, giving a lot of last rites as you continued on your journey. You met one spirit in particular who, she told you a little bit about what was going on, at least in her time. You discovered that she doesn't appear to know that she's a spirit. And she also, you let her off. You guys ran into a group of orcs that were battling a group of spirits. They had already finished with the spirits by the time you got there. Jacobus took initiative, jumped on him, managed to get you guys a little bit of a surprise. And that's where you guys left off, just kind of like going through the bodies and figuring out what was there and, what you want to do next. So I think we said, because we went through things kind of quickly, you guys looted them and you found medium armor with a resistance to necrotic damage and 45 gold. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I actually wrote that down too, y'all. I don't know if anybody else did, but I did.
Wrote it down
And
where?
didn't Felix take the necrotic damage armor?
Where did you write it down?
Oh, you did.
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember. One of you did. Because
So.
I opted.
Yeah, Meredith.
Where we left off, you
Made a note on a notepad. That's what I did.
Oh, no. It says Kaga took it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't know who took it. I just knew that.
Yeah, it's on the spreadsheet.
Oh, there's a spreadsheet. I didn't even know that. Okay,
Yes, you
good
did.
deal.
Yes, you did.
You definitely did.
You say that every time you bring up a stupid spreadsheet. It's been about 12 times so far.
Well, clearly it's not been of importance in my life.
So, you guys had just finished killing off this band of orcs. You have a couple of ghostly corpses that are kind of like propped up against the wall. You
Can I
can,
loot the ghost?
you can try.
I tried.
Okay.
What were you
so-
doing?
Looting the
Loot
ghost.
the ghost.
Oh.
Completely
Yes.
off topic. Casta, this tea smells amazing.
Oh my god.
Oh,
nobody
does
cares.
it? I'm super jealous.
I know.
Super jealous. Thanks
The water hit it and it wafted up. I was like, holy crap.
Thanks
I
to
don't care. Nobody
child
cares.
meltdowns, I don't have any tea tonight, so
Oh,
I'll live, live
Nobody cares,
vicariously.
Leah. Yeah, nobody cares.
So you go over, you start kind of like, trying to get the stuff from the ghost, and it's definitely, there's nothing tangible there. They're definitely more, not real.
Davi will go and hasten their souls just like she does everybody else's.
Okay. Even though, they have appeared to have kind of re-died, in their state, they're kind of, they look dead once more. As you go over and you kind of like get them their last rites and stuff, just like with the others, you do see them kind of like dissipate and fade out. And,
Are they human ghosts, or any of them perhaps fiendish in nature?
These are humans. So far, the only ones you guys have encountered have been humans, dwarves, elves.
I thought that was halfling too.
I was hoping they would be
Halfling.
re-dyed fiends.
Unfortunately, no. Everything that yes, you did encounter a halfling, and I think you encountered gnomes. If you encountered gnomes
Yeah.
personally,
and
you have
some
seen them.
elves too. There
Yeah.
were some elves as well.
But very typical humanoid surface dwellers. So,
Who
you guys
is
also.
Ruby and why did they come into our room?
Kaga's bot.
Oh. I'm like, who is Okay.
I feel like Felix should put it on speaker.
So, you guys are standing over these bodies. What are you doing?
Well, I'm feeling like we probably shouldn't linger in one place for terribly long, given the big gator creatures and what have you.
Did we examine the orcs to see if there are any like markings or anything on them?
No, you have not.
I would like to do that.
All right, go make an investigation check.
Help them.
I already have
I-
advantage on it.
While they're doing
Well,
that,
fine then.
while they're investigating,
I don't
You
need
can't
your help.
help.
Felix
I'm
just
gonna-
stands there and goes, I helped.
Wow.
okay,
That
while
was
they're
so
investigating,
painful.
Jacob's gonna go investigate somebody
what
else.
does the area around us look like right now?
It is marshy. It's not as lowland as the other. As you guys have been going, sometimes you get as deep as like thigh high, like hip high in it. Except for you, Dobby. You're up to the chest level. But right now, it's more about like mid calf. It's a lot
Okay.
more
Casta, is there
solid.
any section of this water that is actually below ankle deep?
Not where you are right now. No.
Shit.
Okay. So I want to kind of keep an eye out around us because who knows what's lurking in the. I mean, because I presume if it's marshy, there's like marsh grass and all that kind of crap.
Yes,
too.
there is a ton of reeds and just like lots of stuff. You've definitely seen your fair share of like just like snakes and different like kind of like swampy birds as you've been going through. Aside from the gigantic alligator-like creature, you haven't had any that have most of them have acted more like normal animals and tried to kind of get clear of you rather than looking to like go after you. But if you want to keep an eye out, roll a perception check for me. Cog. You go over and you start kind of like looking at the orcs to try to, see if you can figure out anything from them. You do notice that a lot of them have very similar like war paint. Like they have these bands of like red paint around their arms. And so this does seem to be a connective symbol. You can kind of derive that they probably have something to do with each other, but beyond that you're not really sure.
Does that like is it a particular like pattern, or is it something I would recognize from like the orcs in High Forest?
Nothing really, in terms of it being like a particular tribe or pattern, nothing rings a bell. It is all the same consistent pattern, but it doesn't strike you as anything that you've seen before.
Okay. So, do we want to talk about how these are real orcs and we
I have a
have
question.
they were dead previously?
Well, yeah. Have we determined that is the case? That these are actual historic dwarfs and not, modern day corporeal orcs? Or
I think we established they were real orcs since we stabbed them.
right? But I mean, are they the previously non-corporeal orcs that have become corporeal? I mean,
No, I
can
think
we
they were
tell by their
probably just
gear?
came through from the other side somehow.
Okay, that's what I'm asking because
I think we got to ask while we were stabbing them.
I mean,
Our
I
priorities
know.
are a little.
Yeah, so
little
can we
skewed.
tell by their gear or anything if it is
I don't know. Check Kagan's armor he's wearing.
Yeah.
You can check out my armor. I'm wearing it though.
Check it out on him.
Lilith, do you want to investigate Cog?
I,
And that's, yeah.
I
So
start
I'm
to
noting your
unfasten
perception check.
the leather ties on
Davi
the
will
side.
stand back and laugh if she does. You don't know where that's been, and she's not sure whether she's talking about the armor or him.
I don my robe and wizard hat.
Okay, so I had to stop for a minute. Did we
Let's go.
determine anything by their gear?
Roll an investigation check.
You're currently checking
okay,
me
first
out.
off, are you
You're
checking Cog or the orcs?
Me.
Oh God.
Because Cog's wearing the armor from the war chief.
Okay, I'm gonna check Kag's armor.
Hey girl.
That's gonna happen.
He doesn't fill it out quite as well as an orc would.
That is
Oh,
100% true.
I'm probably hanging off
Dining
his
counter.
frame right now. Okay, investigation.
Yes.
Is anybody gonna help me or?
Nope.
or
I'm just gonna let you go for it.
Tommy's just standing back laughing.
Bring it, girl.
Okay.
I'm telling
She's
you,
too distracted.
you don't know where that's been.
Cog, you go over, and Cog in all of his glory just kind of starts shimmying, and there's only so much of this you can take, You've been in the swamp for hours, and you're just like, no, it's not even worth it.
I have it on good authority that it would not actually go on for hours.
oh, Jesus. Oh Lord.
All right. So we know nothing. There's nothing. Have we?
We know nothing.
The area that they were standing in. Is there anything like? Are there any tracks that show where they might have come from?
You can roll a survival check.
Damn right I
Eventually we're gonna roll a 20, guys. That's what we're
can. Like, let's try to be as
Find many
creative as
things to
possible.
look at.
Hey, did I find out anything with my 18 perception roll for watching
So
out for
you are
us?
keeping you're keeping an eye out for the things that are coming around you, and as far as you can tell, there's no immediate threat in the area. So, but you're continuing until you guys like take off again. That'll sit for you. So you're keeping an eye
Question
out.
while we're doing this, were we taking
Yes.
a short rest?
Yes, everybody
Let's
has had a
call it
short rest.
Okay.
So, Cog,
So
you
what
look
happened
around.
on a
get
short
back on a
rest?
short rest.
You can use your hit dice to get more back. Wait, what do you ask?
But you don't get any spells back, right? Nope.
He gets
nope.
all his spells back.
Oh, rude.
Wait, who gets their spells back?
Rafferty.
Sis.
From a short rest?
Yeah, the warlocks get them all back on short rest. They only have like 3 spells left.
I get 3 casts, dude, so
Oh.
I used
Cog.
a third of my entire spell usage on that one hex.
Cog, you start to kind of check out the area. I believe there are currently 4 orc bodies. Yes, there are 4 orc bodies. You do notice that there are actually quite a number of tracks, though. It's a little difficult to tell where they're coming and going from. They do appear pretty fresh, but you would definitely put it closer in the range of like 10 to 12 sets of feet have been through here. You do notice that over here there is a campfire that has kind of been built, and it appears to have had multiple uses. They've kind of set up this little kind of like it's obviously not a formal camp. They don't have any gear here with them or anything, but it does appear that this area has been visited repeatedly by more than the orcs that are present.
So, guys, we did not kill 12 orcs, but there are 12 sets of tracks here, and this seems to have been a kind of central area.
Maybe
Wait,
orcs walking back
we're
and forth.
checking orcs. You can see tracks in ankle-deep water.
Well, up where the fire is, I assume, is like mud.
Yeah, up in this area where they've kind of been camping, which is a little bit higher
I'm
over
gonna move
ground.
up into the area where there's higher ground, and I'm gonna stay there.
Okay.
So they left some people behind to mind the camp.
Seems like it. Do we want to try to
If our farm wasn't so dirty, it would.
hide the bodies?
Why don't we use the bird to look around?
Yeah.
It's not a terrible idea.
Yeah,
So-
we have two things capable of seeing long distances from the air.
Yeah,
We should
Fearless could probably fly straight up.
Oh yeah, but a giant blue dragon, a 6'4" blue dragon.
I wouldn't call that
person,
giant.
pretty giant. In the realm of things,
Not a dragon either.
flying up. Anyway, so yes. I mean, but it would call a lot of attention to us. I'm not sure that we want to do that. However, this bird. So during
Isn't your
this time,
bird like 6 feet tall too?
no, the bird is not.
Well,
6 foot tall.
I would say that while we're arguing about
Do you
this,
mind grabbing me?
you know who has a very small bird that wouldn't attract attention? That'd be Tab.
He has some owl, but even still, my bird wouldn't
It's
attract.
not his natural habitat to draw all kinds of attention.
So listen, we're gonna send Kibble out. 'cause I'm
Yes,
just
she's
giving in.
adopted the name.
I'm gonna send-
Rename the sheet. Rename the sheet.
I'm gonna send Kibble up and just have her, circle around, sort of wide loops around while we're doing this. And if she sees anything that would be of alarm to us, she'll signal.
Okay. So you send her up, and she starts, kind of doing wide loops around. And she, looks for a moment, comes back, and doesn't seem to mention anything. Like she gives you no kind of indication that there's anything else around that struck her as alarming or in any way imminent. So
Well, I mean, so her passive perception is 16 too. I don't know if you're aware. So
yes,
Casta. Or sorry,
Yes.
Leah.
yeah.
Don't berate the GM.
I'm not berating. I just asked her if she knew. My God,
And that's how we know
knows everything.
Seznag is terrified of Casta.
Jesus.
Water rises 3
I mean,
feet all
yeah.
of a sudden.
Yeah, can we pause here to make like a boat out of the reeds?
Wow.
so
How
All right.
long would that take?
So, I'm gonna start like dragging the bodies and trying to like hide them behind like underbrush and cover
there
them, like
anything
into the water
around?
maybe.
Isn't the west just put on
Are
rocks
there
on them?
any?
oh, where you
rocks
are, it's only about calf
that
length.
sink them?
So, but
Just flatten them
Oh.
first.
I missed you. I missed what you said, Leah.
Well, I was gonna say, if there's some deeper water and some rocks around, we could sink them
Make a
All right, so
perception
until we
check.
get out. Until we can get out of here.
Quit stealing my ideas.
Making. Okay, so sure enough, not only you remember
I found a
as you were
rock.
walking
We used looking for rocks
for your crit.
for our crit. That's great.
So as you look around this rubble that appears to be like this, very aged and somewhat disintegrated dwelling, you find a number of rocks that are easy enough for you guys to move, but definitely heavy enough to, like suppress a body underneath the water surface. You also remember from, your trek over here that there is a number of deeper pools, and just kind of like areas where you could definitely sink these bodies if you wanted.
I think that that's best so we don't draw any attention. It'll take them some time to find them. If we could do this rather quickly, that would be great.
Okay. So is that what you guys are doing?
Leah will have no part of this.
Well, we knew
Moving
Leo
rocks is
wasn't
beneath
going to handle any dead bodies.
I'm
Okay?
I'll handle
Is
dead
anybody-
bodies left and right, but I'm not getting in that water.
Yes, Jacobus.
You don't have to get in the water. Is anybody else going to help me at least drag the bodies over to one of those pools?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kega.
Well, I'll help, but I want to check the bodies specifically for symbols related to either Demogorgon, Grast, or Orcus
Okay.
before we dump them in the water.
Roll an
That's
investigation
what y'all were
check.
doing earlier.
Did we ever do that?
I thought so
I
too.
don't think Cog did that. I think Cog
Are we
was...
milking
Both-
better rolls?
Both
Yeah.
Tag and I failed because
But-
we were bad.
But
I'm specifically looking for symbols that I'm familiar with.
Yeah, Cog was looking at like
Sounds like he gets an
orcish,
advantage.
orcish symbols.
To see if they were from my part of the world.
Yeah. So you look them over. You don't find anything that rings a bell. You don't even find anything that's, no beyond the red bands that Cog noticed. You don't find any other, identifying marks. They're not particularly
Yeah, 'cause
tattooed
we
or
had to use
anything like that.
our crit to find rocks.
So, so nothing strikes
listen,
you.
at least it was useful. Okay, we're gonna be able to sink these bodies until we can get well away from here. So Cag is gonna help me with that. Apparently,
Where's Urinin and all?
He's
He is
standing over.
totally letting us do whatever.
Bullshitting.
He is. He's standing nearby, quietly watching, very observant of your interactions, but offering nothing in terms of advice or aid.
Or
You
anything
know,
else.
we really ought to start
Offering nothing. You
working.
could have stopped there.
I'm gonna say quietly to the others, we really need to start getting it together because that dude's watching everything that we do. So we just need to start working
What-
together
what-
a little
What's
bit.
your plan for getting it together?
We've done perfectly fine, I think. I'd like to ask Urinin when that parade or festival was happening back at the court.
Okay. So you come over and you ask him, and he looks at you for a moment and considers. I have my doubts that it will be occurring at all, given everything that's been going on.
When would it have been happening?
Likely sometime during our journey. The Autumn Court, to my understanding, is known for holding many festivals, and they will find any reason to engage in some sort of festivities, but the Wild Hunt doesn't generally partake in those sorts of events, so unfortunately I don't know exactly when it would have occurred.
Do you know what would have been the trigger for it? Was it?
Leave it there.
For this one in particular, I'm afraid I'm not familiar. There's undoubtedly some small victory that was blown up to be worthwhile of a feast and a celebration and another reason to use the feast hall.
Okay.
If you
Thanks for
feel
being
that this
very helpful.
if you feel that this information would aid you in some way in your pursuit, then I can introduce you to a huntsman that has been in the Autumn Court longer than I have. They likely have more information regarding their customs and celebrations.
So there
You're
were
gonna produce them directly out of
better
the swamp,
huntsmen
or
that
what?
we didn't get assigned.
No, you weren't
Alright.
given that option. What were you saying, Leah?
I'm like, where's he gonna get this huntsman from the middle of the swamp? I mean,
He died in
please
the battle of
introduce
Final
us
Failure.
right away. I don't understand.
So, are you guys sparing? So you and Cog are hauling off the bodies?
Davi will help
Yes.
him.
Oh, thank God.
Like, how long is this taking us? Like, is it? Are we like trekking across like 15 minutes back and forth, or is this like a?
No, it's not too far. It's only about, like maybe most carrying the bodies in with their weight, it's only about the 5 minutes to find a nice deep pool. The land is pretty uneven, you find. There are deep pools, and like even as you walk through it, you find yourselves kind of, coasting up and down, walking along the bottom. So it frequently goes deep and shallow.
Okay. So
with
when we get done with
No, you
that,
don't.
can I try to cover up our, like, kind of shoo everyone out of the area and try to cover up our presence here?
Sure.
don't
Roll a
know.
survival check for that.
I'll help.
Sweet.
I'll help.
Okay.
No, baby.
All right.
Oh.
Oh, don't cry.
From your time,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what happened to Celia.
in the high forest cog, you really have no problem with this. You know, the land's a little bit different, but especially with this moist as the ground is, you're able to kind of, you know, like
Moist.
smooth out the prints that you guys smooth out the prints that you guys have made. A lot of it has been, you know, like calf length water, so you know you didn't really leave any tracks there. Yeah, other than the ghostly. Oh well, no, the ghostly corpses are gone too. So no, because Dobby got rid of those. So yeah, once you finish up, you look and you're pretty content with the job that you've done. You feel like you've covered everything very well.
All right. So, guys, I think when we leave here, either Irilith or I should make an effort to cover the tracks we leave on the way out. Because if there is a small scouting party here, I wouldn't doubt that they would try to track us.
So wouldn't we just kill them as well?
Or,
Well, I mean,
that's
if
an
we
option.
have to,
Wait, we're getting back in the water?
I mean,
We have to
I'm,
keep
I'm not a
going,
tracker, but
Rafferty.
if we walking through waist deep water, is that not hiding our tracks?
Well, I mean, if we start walking in a direction and we continue moving in that direction, it's not hard to logic. Oh, wait, they're moving due west.
Will
yeah,
we
because
walking
we'll
backwards?
break reeds and things
So,
like that.
so how about, hey,
How much
this is
traffic?
crazy, and I know it's crazy, but let's leave the camp in one direction and then change directions once we're in the water.
I am completely comfortable with that.
As am I.
Dobby is going to drop back and just walk close to Rafferty.
Okay.
And
Sorry.
she's going to basically tell you, Rafferty, hey, look, if you feel anything, just grab hold of me.
Is there like soft saxophone music playing? or-
She did not describe what kind of feelings.
So
She's not going to let you go under, dummy.
I know, you're going to be my dwarvish buoy.
Okay, I'll lead
She floats.
out. I'll lead and so that
I mean, obviously, I've befriended Davy. I should have befriended Jacobus, and then he could have given me the water walking ring, and I'd be super comfortable.
So you guys head out once more. Do you want to stick to your old marching order, or do you want to rearrange yourself? I know, Dobby, you said you're kind of in the back with Rafferty.
and I'm in the
Yeah.
front now.
Okay.
Because
Cog, are you still in the front?
Yep.
Okay. So I've got Cog and Yerlith up front with Yernin kind of following closely behind. You guys have
Our
definitely
guide
taken
is
over.
following our guide.
well, I'm gonna assume he's telling us what direction
Yes.
we should be going.
You guys have kind of taken on the job of finding the best path. He's just kind of pointing you in the general cardinal direction.
I mean, can we
Um,
see the sun from where we are?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can see it's in perpetual twilight.
Let's see. Rafferty, are you still in the middle, or did you want to be closer to the back?
I am wherever Davy is.
All right. So we'll put Rafferty and Dobby right there behind in the middle, if that's okay. And then
Yeah.
we've got Leo.
I mean, we don't have to walk out line, do we?
No, you don't. You can cluster. It's a wide area.
All right, I've done this
Don't
before,
cluster.
guys. We actually fan out 15 meters.
The question is, who's the front duck? Who's the back duck?
I'll be the front duck.
Okay.
I walk in
be
a
the
zigzag
back.
pattern to avoid crocodiles.
Okay. So, you guys, follow your plan.
That's called the modified file. Just FYI.
Casta, did we actually
Yes.
short rest?
Yes, you
Yes.
did. So if anybody wants to go on and do that, you can
And also hit dice.
modify all
My
that.
channel divinity.
You guys, Yernin, you kind of let Yernin know, here's what we're going to do. We're going to backtrack a little bit, try to throw him off. And Yernin's like, he's down for it. He says, you lead. I will show you the direction we're going. So,
I feel like we should have tied him up and left him there, guys.
Well, we may need him later, so
I was
So-
saying that. Go for it.
Wait, I missed some of that.
Oh, I said that's what I was saying all week in chat, and everybody was saying no way. Tying him up and leaving. I was actually going to just stab him to death, but
I
He's
mean,
the queen's favorite huntsman.
and not only that, I mean, we may need him. So
All about that.
He's
been
probably
very
good
helpful
at
so
he's
far.
probably good at pleasuring the queen because he's pretty shit as a huntsman.
If you need urine, I'm in some real deep doo-doo.
So you guys, he kind of guides you in the direction again. You kind of head off. He tells you that you're going to be heading southeast. So you guys kind of take off in a different direction, heading towards the west a little bit, double back, and end up finally kind of working your way around. As you walk, the water does start to get deep again, unfortunately. You know, it ends up coming to about your mid-thigh. And you guys are trekking along for a while, and then Leo, you start to feel this kind of tingling in the back of your mind, like this faint enlightenment, like an epiphany to a problem that you've kind of been ruminating on for a long time, and
Eureka.
suddenly the answer starts to come to you.
He literally says Eureka too.
please,
Probably.
I'm in the
feeling
bath.
starts as the spark. Exactly. The feeling starts as the spark and then kind of slowly begins to spread through your body, creating this warmth all the way down to your fingertips. And you feel yourself lighten as the adrenaline rush hits you at full force. And then once more, suddenly you can see it. The bright purples and pinks and the ruddy mauve, the soft blue and green glow, welcoming and safe in a world that's otherwise overwhelmed by darkness. The tall, thick stems and broad caps offering shelter and reprieve. And you remember. You can see it in your mind once more. You can even smell it. The mushroom patch in your vision. Once
Shut
again,
up high again.
your queen draws near.
I think we're connected to something here, guys.
Can you be more specific?
On a material plane.
Yeah, you know that. You know the gift I got from Mushroom Lady. I
Oh,
think
your blessing from the Mushroom Queen.
yeah, I think she knows. I think she knows where we are.
well,
You.
Maybe where you are, yeah.
But you happen to be. This is good. Maybe she can take us back.
Did you agreed to help the courts? Even if you leave this plane, it's a really bad idea to break that coast.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm putting it out there. Personal experience. The oaths are taken. Be serious here.
yeah, but we're not here then.
but they can get to the material plane. I mean,
Not all dead from demons.
well, that's. I mean, you know, but do we want to? Do we want to leave them to contend with demons on their own? I mean, I was kind of looking forward to.
I mean,
You know.
even so, the
Hey guys,
big old demons we found, the overlords have been on the other side.
I think Yernan can hear us.
He's useless. What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
Tell Mom.
Well, he can tell on you guys. I'm the one saying we should honor the oaths.
And I am not disagreeing with Rafferty because thus far, in the terms of telling us about this place, he's not steered us wrong yet.
Guys, it only took 8 sessions, but she almost trusts me.
They
No,
gave
she
us a lot of
doesn't,
stuff,
but
and they've been good
she
to
is
us.
not- she does give credit where
I'm
credit
just
is due.
saying.
We should
As
hold
you
up our end of the
mentioned-
bargain.
As you mentioned this, Cog, the fact that Yernan can hear you, he says, "Don't worry. If you break oaths, I won't have to hear you. I'll know."
He's not here to guide us, guys. He's here to maybe kill us. Just pointing that out.
I'm just saying,
mean-
if she shows up, he may not have much choice in the matter, but it
I
might
mean,
be
if
good.
something happens against our will, I mean, obviously, then, well, I mean, there is a certain purposefulness to oath breaking. So,
I'm sure she could help us. I mean, she seems nice.
The magical mushroom lady who's sending you psychedelic visions seems nice. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was great, man.
You're the walrus cuckoo cachoo?
Yeah.
I'm glad I got red bearded dwarves.
I saw
not
Sam.
mushrooms. My dreams are better than yours, man.
I'm really hoping that I don't end up with, I mean, Rafferty's heaven nightmare as Davi's dreaming of
I'm
more,
having
more
good
news.
dreams, okay? I don't want to hear about it.
Wasn't Jackie having some dreams too? I mean, it's too much.
So as you guys walk along discussing this, Davi, you actually notice up ahead in the reeds, there appears to be this large green floating mass that's kind of, been pushed up into them. It stands out to you, though. It's definitely different. It doesn't look plant-like, and definitely different from the other things that you've seen up until this point.
Davi will whistle at Cag and point over towards it. Or Earlith or whoever's watching.
Can I tell what it is from here?
You
Same.
can roll. You can both roll perception checks.
Okay, well, I'll just help him with the perception check then. Can I help him instead?
Sure.
I wonder if sometimes we abuse that, because I have no idea how you can help me stare at it.
Well, I mean, I can point out
She can
some
point out
things. Like, you
details.
see this, or does that?
There's the horizon.
Hey!
Oh,
God.
shit.
Wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have
So-
mattered at all.
You just blew it all in two in one roll.
Well, that's all. All right. See you guys
Two
next
perception
Saturday. I'm done.
Perception.
Costanza.
Roxanne, this one's just as good. So looking over Cog, especially from your time in the, growing up in the high forest, you have a lot of brave adventurers who think they're ready, who venture in and, try to take on the elements, as it were. And you've seen this before. You look at it for a moment, the way it's kind of like, the way it's laying in the water, and you notice as an arm actually kind of is floating along the side, and you realize that this is actually a corpse. It is distinctly misshapen as it is. The features from what you can make out, it appears to be face down. The skin is green, but it's kind of mottled at this point. It's kind of turning a purplish and very sickly color. Even for a green skinned individual, it's looking pretty nasty. The features are bulbous. And it's definitely dead. It's just
Ew.
very still in the water.
Is it like tall, short?
It's tall. It's a medium sized creature, but you can from looking at it, you can pretty quickly derive that it is another orc.
Okay. So there's a dead orc. Is there anything around me, since I have
No.
eagle eyes right now?
No, you don't notice anything else around. Whatever might have killed it appears to have left the area. Everything else is pretty still. It's
right.
just left.
And
there.
Davi kind of inspect it with medicine to see if she can figure out what killed
Well,
it.
how far are we
Sure.
from it?
You're not very far. Don't ask me distance.
How many
They turn up.
meters? How many football fields am I from this creature?
You're like half a football field.
What's a football?
Okay. That is our new unit of measurement, because Kelsey has, or I'm sorry, Cassie
Because
has.
Alabama.
Ew. Half a football field's not that close either.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why I've got friggin' eagle vision right now.
Okay, so a quarter of a football field. Work with me, guys.
I thought Cass's homework was to figure this out.
We actually
have
had, I
pictures.
sent her pictures of, people standing,
I
holding up
seriously studied
signs.
charts.
This is 25 feet.
Get a printer and cheat sheet.
Okay, so I guess we'll get closer and then kind of check out the area, figure out why this thing is dead, and figure out what the
Okay.
modeling on its skin is.
Okay, Davi, you wanted to roll a medicine check?
Yeah.
Can I
Okay,
look? Oh, sorry.
No, you go on. You can roll too.
Can I insight check Jacobus to see his current response to this situation?
Sure, you can.
Can I insight check Kaga while he's insight checking Jacobus?
Insightception. Okay,
Well, that's mediocre as hell.
Jacobus is hard to read. He does a really good job at just kind of keeping his game face on the whole time. So, Davi, you go over and you kind of look at this, and you carefully kind of turn it over to look at it, and the eyes you can tell that it's been in the water for quite a while. The eyes, the eyes are actually kind of swollen shut just from the water they've retained. You're also able to derive that the different kind of colors in the skin, the kind of yellowing and stuff, it does appear to just be from where the skin has stretched from the water retention that it has going on.
Ugh.
There don't appear, you notice that there are several deep gashes across the body. They come in sets of 4, almost as though it was assaulted by maybe like a clawed creature of some sort, and that appears to have been the cause of death. The one thing that strikes you very distinctly, though, is the fact that one of the legs is missing entirely. It looks like the bone has literally been ripped from the hip socket. And the other leg, you notice, has most of the muscle and meat of the upper thigh are gone. And as you go in and get a really good look at it, it looks as though it's been eaten, but the teeth imprints on it are humanoid. They strike you as very not as like a beast of any kind.
Jacobus. It was Jacobus.
Okay, I am so shaking now.
You didn't sneak off, did you?
It wasn't me.
All right. Davi will point that out to everybody. All marks and all. The leg missing is kind of obvious, but
Okay.
she's the master of stating the obvious.
So is there a current at all? Like, did it float down here and it's stuck?
Roll a nature check.
Nature. Why has it got to be nature?
Why are you
a druid?
I thought you were good at nature.
Yeah, but my character's an idiot, so I have no like good bonus for it.
You said it, man. We didn't.
I mean, I have a +3 in nature, so I mean,
You can't detect any kind of current or anything. The water here appears to be, I mean, the water overall in the swamp has been pretty stagnant.
Interesting.
I mean, it's a swamp.
You're a swamp. All right. So it might have just died and been eaten here. Okay, cool.
Do we know what ate it?
Something humanoid.
I don't know. Anyway,
We got to get out of this swamp, guys.
yeah, it's looking more and more like, maybe we should take off. I mean, let's. Does
We're
anything
not going
around
back
us
now.
appear
We
to
marked
be?
like 10 days to get here.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
go
I
turn
know. We
around.
need to get to where we're going, though.
Yeah,
I
let's get in
mean,
the swamp.
No, we're going to the edge of the swamp. Isn't it a town?
In the swamp.
And the edge of the swamp, right?
It's in the swamp.
I'm asking.
Yernan?
Yeah, I'm asking Yernan where this thing is because Leo is not paying any attention.
With this particular discovery, Yernan seems to be showing more interest as well. He's definitely, kind of listening more carefully, looking the creature over for himself. And as you ask him, he looks over and says, I actually have not, to my understanding, the Swamp Rose is located inside the swamp. I haven't been there myself, but it is not on the edge.
Okay, I thought that somebody
It's
said
in the swamp.
it. Fine. Well, it's still a town, so clearly they have some. What do you call those things against the environment and the
Floors?
well, just defenses. Defenses. They have defenses against them.
Defenses against the water? Is that what you're saying?
And everything that's out in the swamps. Otherwise, there would not be a town that exists still.
I'm
To be
confused
fair, we
about
don't
what
know
we're
that it
saying.
still exists.
Something
there-
exists there.
Okay, I'm
Weren't
gonna
there-
just start heading out because this is
Would-
getting us nowhere.
Yes, Jacobus.
Would I know of any demons that might fit the description of claws and eating particular sections of the body?
That are humanoid.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a demon that's humanoid.
So
Jacobus
from
did it.
if well, okay, so first off, when it comes to tieflings can either have demonic or hellish background, just because you said, because I'm a demon that's humanoid, so just as you discover your own character background. But as far as something that would have done this, in your recent readings, you didn't encounter anything. If you want to roll a general arcana check to see if maybe you've heard any stories about this kind of thing, you can. So, it just so
Jack.
happens that
Oh my.
in your travels, in your in a life that once was, you've met some colorful characters, and you have had time to sit around and kind of tell the ghost stories from your childhood, as it were, while you were killing time. You heard from one acquaintance in the past a story of these demonic creatures that were indeed cannibals. It was considered a form of worship for one of the demon lords. They didn't know a whole lot about it. A lot of the story seemed to evolve around one of those, don't go into the forest at night, kid kind of situations. In this case, it was particularly, don't go into, caves, because that's where these demon worshippers are, and they'll eat you. But you have definitely heard of this occurring before, though this is the first time that you've encountered evidence that it might be more than a fictional story made to scare children at night.
Sweet. Okay, I think we can keep going.
Okay. Anybody else? Are you good?
No, Earless ready to move on
Okay.
in the direction that Irnan says that we need to go.
Okay. Irnan gives the body one last look over. It kind of looks over for a minute and then goes and leads you guys on your way. You walk for a while more, remaining kind of in like the thigh deep / chest deep water. And you begin to head into a particularly thick grove of trees, and they're very mangrove-like in nature. The terrain just becomes almost impassable with these gigantic serpentine roots that are just kind of sticking out of the water, and you're trying to step over them and kind of move around them. And on about the 5th or 6th time that one of you like stubs a toe or stumbles or kind of like scrapes your shin, just trying to kind of, maneuver around these, Yernan actually looks over at Yukog and says, "Druid, can you commune with nature?"
I mean, yeah.
You seem
I
uncertain.
feel like it.
It just seems like a weird question to ask a druid.
I
Why
would
haven't you-
assume that this huntsman could guide us safely through a swamp, and maybe I should have asked. So
I suspect that he has a reason for asking you if you can commune with nature. I'm just gonna kind of whisper that.
Perhaps
Okay.
you could ask the trees to grant us passage.
So
Wow, that's an excellent idea.
No, he just likes to see us suffer.
while that would be a spectacular idea, I do not have that prepared.
Understandable. I simply thought it might make things easier.
Yep, nope. Reasonable statement.
How is this not something that you have all the time?
Because it's a spell.
too combat focused when he plans his characters.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, but he knows who the DM is, right? I mean, so
Which is why I must always be prepared to murder things.
that means you should be prepared to have role play things too.
One does not simply roleplay in D&D.
Yeah, okay.
so it takes you guys a little bit of time. It's definitely a little bit of a time setback, but it's not, despite the scrape shins, nobody's suffering any wounds or real damage. It's just awkward and it's cumbersome and it's tiring. I've already been trekking for hours, but you do manage to make your way through. As you climb through the forest, actually, you guys begin off kind of in the distance, hearing shouting of some sort.
Humanoid? Yeah, I guess humanoid chatting makes sense. All of us can hear it?
Yes.
So obviously
It's very some of you better than others, of course. Davi can definitely tell that it's in a language that she doesn't understand, so can Yukog. And anyone with passive perception over 15, so I don't have to open everybody's character sheets.
So
but,
I'm gonna stop moving.
It does appear to be pretty far off. You can hear like right now, it just appears to be this occasional, and then this shout and this, that, and the other.
Oh my gosh, I'm sending sex somewhere. So I can't make out language from where I am.
No, you can't tell what it is, but you don't hear any decipherable words as it is.
Okay. So I turn around, look at the group, and I give them my characteristic questioning expression. Do we murder it or not? Silence. I will accept that as support.
Yes.
Is murdering our default?
Yes.
Murder. Yes.
Murder what?
Whatever it is.
Something
You
shouting.
don't know yet. You hear some shouts off in the distance, some shouts and some grunts. You can't quite make out right now what they are. They are pretty far. But there definitely appears to be something, an event of excitement going on over to your left.
I think maybe you should have Jackie sneak up, but Jackie, don't attack them without calling and getting us.
Sorry,
Make
I
it
can't
better.
even hear it though, can I?
You guys can hear the occasional exclamation. Davi and Cog and whoever has a passive perception over 15, they are the ones that are hearing a little bit more of it.
I mean, I can try to stealth, I guess, if you get me in the right direction. Someone
Kieran
can
looks
point me in
at
the
you.
right direction, or
Kieran looks at you.
Yeah, I mean, Davi will point you in the right direction if you're.
I mean, do we have a concrete direction?
Well, they know
You
where it's
have a
at.
general direction. You don't have a concrete direction at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, Davi will point her in the right direction.
Okay. Do you want to roll? Yep, there we go.
Before he goes, I go up and put my hand on Jackie and I cast invisibility on him.
Okay.
oh well then.
Is that like plus 300 to stealth?
I mean,
It doesn't say he's invisible.
So, you begin making your way over, and as you get closer, you are able to make out the sound more and more. You recognize, having, a bit of history in languages, you recognize the language to be Orcish before you get up to them. You can't make out what they're saying. You're not familiar with it, but you can tell from the tone that it sounds very heated, and it sounds perhaps like someone is barking orders. As you get closer, you were able to notice this crude campsite of sorts. You notice that there appear to be 3 orcs that are here. They are armed and armored, and they are fighting 4 creatures who have kind of this bluish skin. It's very tight and taut. They're bald. They have these long, their fingers are elongated and very claw-like. There is also a 7th creature that is present. He looks orcish and very clearly undead. Part of his body is kind of like, mangled. Though interestingly, he is not attacking the orcs. He is attacking one of the bluish creatures. And they are currently engaged in battle.
How far away is my group from me now?
It only took you about somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes to get there. Especially because you're going slowly and trying not to, but they're definitely, you would be able to go back and reach them.
But there's definitely too many for me to stab right now.
You have 2 hands.
Hey, Vaxeldon. Just remember what happens when you run in the thing with the big vampires.
Jenga.
we actually really need to get little earrings that we can communicate.
I know, we do. I've thought about that. When we get the mage tower on our side, we'll see.
So, if I talk to these guys when I get back to them, do I keep the invisibility?
You keep for an hour until I break concentration. Yeah.
Okay.
So don't
I'll,
piss Leo off.
Which I don't actually know if I can
Oh.
drop concentration on purpose or if it just kind of I have to
Yeah, we'll go
do
with
something.
yes. You can decide to
Because I
let
can just cast
Jacobus-
bless on somebody and they'll break concentration, but that's a waste of blood.
Yeah, I think that it is totally reasonable for you to decide, you know what, I'm not gonna concentrate on this anymore. So
Leo sends him off. All of a sudden it drops.
Ah.
Leo's ADD can only concentrate 5 minutes on anything.
all right.
Ooh,
The
shiny.
mushroom lady was talking to me. I'm sorry.
I
The
will head
mushroom
back and
lady
let them
was
know.
talking to me.
Okay.
Did you want to be visible? I can keep you invisible.
I would like to stay invisible until I take the first shot at somebody.
Oh God, he's
Or
doing
you could
this.
stay. You could stay invisible the entire time. Is what Tab is. What
Yeah.
Leo is
Stay up
saying.
an hour.
And that
Well, yeah,
would.
until he gets smacked by somebody. But I think the spell ends if I attack somebody.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind.
I need to be asleep.
I mean, not that I think we're going to be able to sneak up on these guys with you guys, but
Hey, some of us can stealth,
and some of you
And-
are really bad at it.
and also I can cast Pass Without a Trace. If we want.
Okay. So you head back over to the group, Jacobus?
Yeah.
So when he comes back over, is that something that we want to talk about? Because I can cast Pass Without a Trace if we need.
Are we attacking these people? Do we have to attack these people? Can we go around these people?
Well, I mean, I think that we should
Should
probably
we figure out what's going on?
Why the
So-
hell didn't my VPN just?
Casta. I guess the
Yes.
question is the blue things that are currently fighting the orcs, are those what I was imagining were the demons that ate the other one?
So you've never actually seen one before, so you're not sure.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure, guys. These are
Are they demonic in nature? Did you determine that?
the things that we're going to go kill.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I'm assuming that they are.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Because
guys.
I'm assuming the same creatures that killed this other orc.
Well, I mean, so if you're wanting to kind of get yourself a sneak hit in, couldn't you go in ahead of us and then we could follow in, or I don't know what the best
Yeah.
way to do this is.
Definitely, but at this point, I don't know who our enemy is specifically because I like to
So-
kill orcs too.
So why don't we just kill them all? I mean, it
Do
seems
we
like-
have to kill them all? If they're having a fight, they can't just walk around them.
Well,
Kill
I mean-
no, I mean, it kind of
I
would
mean,
be fun to kill them.
Can we be so do we hold on, sorry, maybe I missed something because I cut out or something. Is Jacobus come back to us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But
So
you
I'm
can't see
like,
him.
how do we know any of this? Okay, that's what I missed.
He's a disembodied voice.
But Earlith is in.
So we could set up an ambush. Well, no, they're already fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I say we let them fight it out. Let whoever's gonna kill whoever.
We can referee the fight. You know, whoever wins,
Ding,
they
ding.
deal with us.
They get to kill them. That's
Well,
that's
what
true.
I'm saying.
I mean,
Set
the
up camp
demons
next
are
to
going to
sharpen
kill
our
the orcs
weapons.
for sure.
Okay,
But-
good. I
but
mean,
wouldn't it stand to reason that if we join the fight clearly against the demons, then we don't have to worry about who wins because we can actually help the orcs win?
we did
Like-
come here to kill demons. I'm just gonna
This
say
is part
that.
of like a scouting troop or whatever. Do we want them to know we exist?
I mean,
Some stuff.
I don't know.
Again, we could just walk around this.
But why would we
We're
do
investigating
that?
demons.
We're supposed to be
we're supposed to
investigating what's going
investigating
on.
the demons, so we should at least go and check them out. Listen,
Yeah.
Yes, but your type of investigating what's going on is slaughtering everything and then digging through their corpses.
So let's save one for
You guys are
questioning.
bad investigators.
I'm kind of guessing that by the time we're done arguing here, one or the other group is going to be dead anyways.
That's
So
kind of what I'm hoping.
we could probably just start heading there now.
So
yes,
one was
Les,
undead.
Would you like me to cast?
No, one was demons.
yeah,
one was orcs.
One of the
Does
orcs
anybody-
was undead.
Does anybody
Oh.
want me to cast Pass Without a Trace so that we can kind of sneak up on this group so that if we decide we do need to take a pass on whatever's going on, we can, hightail it out? Or what?
I mean,
you have to be Elijah.
Hi, Lucy.
Someone can do that because Dad's playing.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
I love her so much.
She's the best.
She's awesome.
don't want
Hi.
Poor Felix, he's like, oh my god.
We're all just
Like
loving
me
it.
and
I love it. I'm eating it up.
Well, there are 8 kids at Felix's house right now.
So,
You know
All
what we
the
should.
kids.
Y'all are
I mean,
gonna kill me for this, but one day we should just like put all our kids on headsets on here and just let them talk.
Yeah,
Yes,
nobody would
they
hear what
probably go
anybody says.
crazy.
It would be hilarious, but you wouldn't understand any of it, but it'd be hilarious.
So, was there anything else of interest over there except the two groups fighting each other? Is there?
So I'm actually going to vote that we go over there and see what's going on. We don't have to get involved unless we're forced to, but we need to figure out what's.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
do
think
y'all
so.
want me to cast
I
Pass
can get
Without
rid of the undead one pretty easy, I think. But I mean, there's no
Hello.
need to use it if I don't have to.
Yes, Yearlith. I think good
Yes.
idea.
It's
Okay,
like plus
good.
10 to stealth, and we desperately need a bonus to stealth.
Especially with Davi.
Can
around.
Davi even stealth wearing?
I'm in
chain?
scale mail right now.
Okay.
She's using a shitty armor.
She want to drown.
How do I cast? Hold on.
You just
You
click
did.
on the
I
name.
forgot.
Click
Yeah, I
on the
went and
name
got
of
all
the
this
spell.
plate armor and then cast to send us on a mission where I can't wear it.
Well,
Very
I
You
did.
cast it.
Oh, did I? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But the
Okay.
good news is, according to the map, there's only one swamp. So
Okay. All right. So we
Thank
have.
God.
Yeah.
There's a
Small
big
bear.
ocean though, and sea, and
there is a bit of
Rivers
there's a
and-
big ocean.
Okay. I've cast Pass Without a Trace.
we're gonna
So-
be pirates in the next episode.
And you guys are that's plus stealth. Okay, then I need everybody to roll stealth for me as you guys make your way back over.
That's unfortunate. If we both casted Pass Without Trace, would we get stacking bonuses?
No.
Aw.
But I mean, currently you're at like what, 26, 24, 24,
Yeah. I mean, that's nice.
I'm good at stealth,
32.
guys.
Hold on, let me sync
Rafferty
the.
vanishes.
Rafferty vanishes.
I'm glad
Not
I have
even-
plus 10. But
Not even his patron knows where he is. God.
I did
Oh,
better than
wow.
Tag.
Plump, plump, plump,
Okay.
plump.
I want to know where Leo got proficiency in stealth from because I don't even remember picking that.
This is
So
all
you
thanks
guys-
to
But he's good at it, apparently.
Make your way back over, following Jacobus's lead.
Now, how are we following Jacobus when he's invisible?
He's invisible. We're following Jacob's
You're
wake.
following his footprints on the water.
Okay.
There you go. The ripples. You play Marco Polo all the way over.
Stealthily.
Quietly.
Okay. So let's see. Do we have Fog of War or anything on here? Let me see. Fog of War. Fog of War. Okay. All right.
I just still see
Everybody
the
see?
swamp or
I still see
whatever.
us in the
I don't
same
see-
place.
We're on the
Oh
same
man,
map.
I didn't even move your map thing. Sorry. There we go.
There we are.
Okay.
Hey.
So, by the time you guys make your way back over, the body count has risen. Now
Yay.
you see only a single blue-like creature that you saw before, Jacobus, and you see the undead orc creature that is still engaged, and then you see a single orc who is looking really rough. The orc is definitely on its last leg. The undead orc creature is still attacking the blue creature, but most of the battle has dissipated at this point.
Who looks the healthiest?
The undead orc creature by far. So you watch as this undead orc creature takes its axe and raises it back and swings once again at the blue creature. The blue creature kind of recoils. The orc continues to go at it as well. And just within a few moments, as you guys kind of stand there and watch, you watch as this last blue creature does fall to the ground. At this point, this orc that is just bleeding profusely has large gashes across its body. You know, it's kind of stumbling back as it, watches this orc, kind of hesitantly, visibly unsure of what it's going to do next. The orc kind of turns its undead face towards the live orc, kind of tilts its head for a moment, and then actually turns around and begins to shamble off towards the swamp.
All right.
Problem solved. Let's go.
We're not going to try to figure out what's going on.
I mean,
I was.
undead
Shit's
orc
dead.
creature. Oh god, it's moving. Make a decision. She's moving it away from us.
I'm
What
going to go
happened?
stab it.
Jacobus, go initiate.
Okay, are you stabbing the orc or the undead orc?
You said the orc was really rough looking already?
Yeah. He's
Then I'm gonna-
taking a knee as it stands as he watches this undead orc
Oh,
shamble
man.
away.
I can't wait for him to explode when Jacobus hits him.
Guys, I think we need to kill the undead orc and question the living orc.
Oh,
That seems like a smart
Yeah.
idea.
that's a good,
Good
idea.
idea. I'll stab the undead orc.
Okay.
Wait, can anyone here speak Orcish?
Not
Rafferty can after a
I
while.
can, if I have to.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, Jacobus, you're going to head on over. Roll for attack for me. And this does count
Isn't
as sneak
it-
attack.
Isn't it a surprise? Isn't it
Yes.
auto hit? Or
It's a surprise. Oh,
So it's with
okay.
advantage.
Get a crit. Get a crit. Oh,
Okay.
Close.
That hits.
so close.
But does
Well,
he
I
get
mean,
crit because it's a prize?
I was going to say,
I think
is
so.
it surprised?
I mean,
Yeah.
if yeah, it is surprised. The creature is no longer like it is definitely disengaged. Friend doesn't appear to be registering anything around it as a threat.
Okay, so it's an auto crit anyways.
All right.
And I forget what the necrotic damage.
It's 46, and then extra. Roll your sneak attack again, so 76 plus a d4.
76.
76 and 1d4.
Nice.
And the last 4 of the d6s are necrotic. So
Okay.
14
Let me
points
double
necrotic.
check something. Okay. So your dagger doesn't do quite as much damage as you would have hoped. Okay. So you come up and you take a gigantic, you come sneak in out of the shadows, you take a gigantic slice at this creature. It does a substantial amount. But the creature is definitely still standing and still looks ready to engage. It actually turns very slowly, its head still cocked to the side, and looks at you and says in common, "Fool, I don't seek you.
Dad,
Leave me
you have
be."
That was the best time for that to happen.
Why is his voice like that? It's terrifying.
Would be scarier.
Why, Jackie? What a strange voice you have.
Okay.
Okay, so we didn't expect the undead creature to talk. Maybe we can reason with it?
I mean, it didn't even seem like that hurt it in any way.
Oh, it heard it, but so you can tell from its body that it has done a substantial amount of damage, but it still looks ready to fight. It doesn't look it's ready to hold its ground, so to speak.
Well, who do you seek?
The ones who wronged me.
Wait, are we talking in combat right now?
He can do that. It's his bonus action.
Can we hear it too, or?
From where you are, you can tell that they're talking, but I don't think that you can
I
make
can
out
read
the
lips.
conversation. Then you can
Guys.
tell. He still has lips.
Guys,
Salvi knows.
I think Jacobus is trash talking the thing.
No, it's telling him that it's not after us.
Is he switching sides? He's switching sides, isn't he? He's switching
Oh,
sides.
God.
What is he switching sides?
No, it's
going on? Why
telling
is he
him to
switching
stop.
sides?
Davi's just going to start marching forward. I mean, this thing doesn't seem.
Okay.
Who
I'm
wronged
staying-
Oh God, we're gonna die.
I'm
gonna
staying
go with Davi.
exactly 1 square behind Davi at all times.
He's got to be able to grab hold of her in case something hits him.
I find this amusing. How tall is Rafferty?
Does anyone actually remember the original Rafferty? Because it makes sense if you remember the original Rafferty.
I have the
I
tallest.
never
shadow.
played with
It's awesome.
Rafferty.
When we
Only-
get back to town, we're gonna get Rafferty one of those monkey backpacks with a long tail.
It's a backpack, not a leash, I promise.
So you guys head on out, and as you do, the orc, looks over at you, and you notice is visibly startled. But I mean, he's looking. She. I don't remember which one we have here. They're looking rough. Like they're kind of like slunched back, and they're bleeding profusely, and they're kind of.
Davi
heaving
will
breaths.
just hold up a hand, or hold up her hand. Okay, it's okay.
Hey, I'm not on the map.
Oh, you're not on the map.
You don't get
Hold
to be
on.
first
Okay.
team.
It's very fitting. I'm
Nobody-
not
We
moving forward
didn't
anyway.
want to say anything. He's with the mushroom queen.
So I do want to point out that Kibble is on the map, but Leo is not. So that's where you stand.
Yeah.
There are a lot of you. Okay.
The below
So-
kibble.
When you ask Jacobus who wronged you, he turns and he says, "Those who would aid us, the betrayers."
What language is this in? Is this common?
Common.
Common.
Who are the betrayers?
Oh Jesus! Why
Why are
is
you
she
yelling?
yelling?
I know them by feel, not by name.
Kinky.
Sax music intensifies.
Well, that doesn't help us to figure it out.
I'm gonna hang back enough so that if we do end up having to combat this thing after all, I will be.
But then
safe
how
distance away.
are you gonna tank?
I'm not. That's why you turn into animals. Remember?
I haven't done that in
The
a while.
bodies of those blue things.
Davi, roll a religion check.
Okay.
It's the root of all conflict, guys.
Religion checks.
Okay. She doesn't seem to recognize
She
the
slept
blue
through that
creatures.
course.
Yeah, I did. I'm distracted.
It didn't involve religious inhibition of alcohol.
So the living orc, Davi will be like, "Do you speak common?"
And it just grunts at you. Ugh.
Okay, I got this.
Do you speak dwarvish? Do you speak giant?
No,
Do you
check
speak
this out.
draconic?
I exist for one purpose: to have useful spells.
Okay, it's a boy orc. I looked up the picture. I can respect his pronouns now.
I cast comprehend languages.
Right?
Now understand literally what this orc says. Fortunately, orcs are not
To
known
be
for
fair,
metaphors.
You can understand language in 10 minutes.
But the
That's true.
problem- and
Yeah,
not
you guys keep talking to the zombie. Me and the orc are gonna have words eventually.
Yeah, but how is it going to understand what you're asking?
Casting Titan.
I'm just out of curiosity.
I can also use message an infinite number of times to telepathically tell it what I want.
Okay.
Oh, God, you
then
could
if
torture
we've
it?
Got that figured out.
Message doesn't work with language. It just sends it whatever you say.
So Jacobus, as you stand
a
there
long-range
with the
whisper,
zombie
basically.
before you, it looks to you once more and says, "Leave me to seek my revenge."
I'm going to ask him
Who
I'm
he's
gonna kill my dog.
who he serves.
I serve myself now. In life, I served the chief.
Who?
Cag,
Yes.
take off the
No.
Let me look up the time it takes to don and leather armor.
So I have a cloak or something, right?
I don't know, do you?
I mean, we had 2 tons of clothes delivered to us. I imagine a cloak isn't included in that delivery. I totes have a
If you want
cloak.
you can have a cloak.
Toads have a cloak.
Just gonna draw it around my body a little bit, just in case there's any kind of notable symbols on the.
On the armor you're wearing?
Yeah.
Good deal.
As you guys stand there, the undead orc actually turns and begins to start shambling away once more.
All right, before he can, I'm busy casting comprehend languages, or else I would
So what are
totally
you
use
doing?
friends on him, and then try to persuade him to help us, so that we would betray him.
So how did you? Who brought you back?
So you're okay. So as you call out, the creature kind of stops and looks back over and says, "I have been wronged so deeply. Will itself has awoken me."
That's terrible. I kind of look over at Davi and so he's technically a spirit that's trapped in the body. What's your take on it?
Would you like to be free?
What?
I will free myself when vengeance is had and the evil is vanquished.
Are we about to recruit a zombie into our party, guys?
Well, I
Is
mean,
there-
eventually it will rot.
Or it
But I
won't.
mean,
So can you
I'm
tell
down.
us? I understand that this is something you know by feel, but is there anything you can tell us about it? What happened? Because we can't help if we don't know. If we know, we'll help. We'll try.
They have betrayed us in great numbers when we were told they would aid. Don't trust them.
Did they look like anybody here?
He looks down to one of the blue creatures and then continues his walk away.
Do we follow him, or do we go through the blue dudes?
I mean, I want to check these blue dudes out. I mean,
Actually, Leo, why don't you roll an Arcana check for me with advantage?
He just stepped away.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Did I say Leo? I meant Eurolith.
you want
Okay.
a what check?
Roll an Arcana check with advantage. Okay. So, as he begins to talk about revenge and seeking revenge, you, having a lot of experience with undead, with them being your favorite enemy, you've actually encountered this kind of creature before. This creature you know as a revenant. Revenants are individuals who their death was so offensive, so wronged, so paralyzing for them that they their entire purpose, they are brought back, and their entire purpose is actually to seek the death of those who betrayed them. They're definitely restless spirits. You haven't encountered many. You've heard of them mostly. You do know that in general they are ironically considered to be kind of neutral undead. They're not particularly evil, they are just on their mission. You are aware that they have a certain amount of time before they are basically, whisked away, to the afterlife. They're not like a indefinite undead. And you have also been told that even if one, because they are more of a spirit of an undead rather than like attached to the body, even if they are killed or dispatched, that spirit actually goes and seeks out another corpse to inhabit to continue their mission.
Okay.
I think we
I'm
should
gonna
go
relay
with this
this
thing to
to
try to
Alma.
help it.
You want to help an undead orc?
Jackie
People.
is really not cool with this. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. I can tell by the way you want to
I'm
help.
going
not an
to
orc.
roll an
It's an
insight
undead
check
spirit.
on Jacobus. I assume that the difficulty rating is a 1.
Just inhabited an orc. But that's not an orc.
Yeah, but it's still undead.
Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
but
Wait a minute.
just-
Whoa. Wait a minute. So the spirit that's inside this orc is not actually orcish in nature?
You don't know.
Can
You
I
know
ask?
that you
Can
can
I
ask
ask
it. Though it's
You originally-
I'll be
It's
right
Going
back.
to fight a great evil.
quickly
So-
moving away.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna.
Oh, actually, I take that back because it told you that it served the chief. So that would be a clue, whether it's an orc or not, that is it did mention that about its origin.
Okay. So, but I mean, but orcs aren't the only ones that have chiefs, right? Dwarves have chiefs as well,
True.
right?
True.
Yes.
You do the books. I'll
The clan chief.
So, I mean, I would assume that it's not only orcs that have chiefs. I want to
Okay.
know, but if it's leaving, I mean, can we call it back or something?
I mean, you could call out to it.
Okay, hello, hello, undead, revenant, come back.
Mr. Revenant, sir, would you please come back?
And it does continue to shamble on, seeming way over this conversation.
Mm. Well, I guess we just better let it go. I mean, honestly, it's going to keep on until it gets the justice it deserves. So-
Yeah,
So,
but don't you want to know what it's going to go after? I want to
well,
know.
I mean, but
what if it's the source of all the problem here, and we go and we miss?
okay, so you would like us
opportunity.
to follow the revenant
Yeah.
to the swamp rose where we're supposed to be going? Okay, okay, I'm down with that. Let's go after the
So-
revenant.
Seriously?
All right.
I mean, there's another orc.
I don't
here,
know right now, Cog. Go away.
Why is he
You're
in
worse than
there?
the children. I have no idea. I'm gonna dock you XP. Go get back to your computer. He's putting batteries in the laser thing for the dog.
Oh,
Everybody else gets some XP for handling the Revenant. Cog misses out.
anyway, no, I'm down. Let's follow the revenant.
Let's go.
I agree with Davi. Let's follow the revenant. Let's say everybody
I'm
else.
following Davi wherever she goes.
That's 3 of us for following the
We
revenant.
got 3 of us.
I'm gonna stop mid ritual, and I'm gonna use message to send a telepathic message to the revenant, and I'm gonna say, and I can maybe make a persuasion check.
Sure.
I'm good at that.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
All right, give me a second. It's,
Yeah, encourage it to come
How
back, and we'll
far-
help it.
not come back, but just take us with it. Right?
Or wait, and we'll help it.
I crit the shit out of that. I'm just gonna point that out.
Way to go, Rafferty.
Social characters. Doesn't matter if you roll a 20. I'm gonna tell the revenant if the oath breakers that wronged you are in the wrong, we will help.
Okay.
Well, they
Cog.
have to be in the wrong, right? Or they wouldn't have created a revenant. Am I right?
Um, not necessarily. The revenant just has to feel like it was wronged.
But I mean, if they were, but the revenant said that they were told that whatever wronged him, that they were going to help, and then they betrayed them. So, I mean, I feel like that's pretty bad.
Correct.
Yes.
The current debate is if you guys are following the revenant or not.
3 of us want to follow the revenant.
We're following the Revenant, Cag. Pack up and let's get to it. This orc ain't got nothing.
Why are we following undead people through the swamp? Like we have like.
Not an undead person. It's a Revenant. Okay.
It's a
Were
revenant.
you around? Were you around for the revenant explanation, or were you?
No, he was not.
No, I was entertaining my animal.
Well, since
Also,
Kaz was in the back
I
of the group
crit a-
picking his nose, I guess he doesn't know.
I crit a persuasion check, so we should at least be on somewhat good terms with this thing.
You
Yes,
did a persuasion check on a zombie.
It's not a zombie.
revenant.
It's a Revenant. It's a specific thing.
How many times do we have to tell you it's a revenant? It's not a
Zombie.
Warren?
So a revenant. To
Undead.
Yurlith, did you share your information with the group?
I did. That's why me
Okay.
and Davi decided that we should follow it.
Cog, a revenant, to Yurlith's understanding, is a spirit that feels as though it was wronged in some way, deeply. And the offense was enough that the soul has lingered and inhabited a body, generally its own to begin with. If the body is, desecrated to the point that it can't be utilized, then another. And it seeks revenge for against those who wronged it. Yurlith does know that there is a limited amount of time for it to be bound to whatever plane it is seeking revenge on, before it does, go off to the afterlife or whatever is to come.
Mhm.
That's the premise. That appears to be why it wasn't interested in you guys or Jacobus, and is very, very, like, they are single-minded. I have to seek out the one that wronged me.
Interesting. Okay.
I think we should go after it. Because I think that Davi makes a good point. I mean, it could be that these betrayers are part of the source of the problems that are happening here in the Feywild, and maybe across all of the planes.
Does he know where he's going, or is he just kind of randomly shambling in direction?
No, I mean, they definitely will go towards the thing that they're seeking, right? Because that's their sole goal. Is that the case?
As you, you're not sure. You don't know how they find their target.
I mean, he said he could feel. He could tell by feel.
He said he would know by feel, but that doesn't mean he like.
Also, Casta, he can
Yes.
telepathically respond to my message, but only I can hear it.
Okay.
That would be useful information.
Can I point something out? We want to help the Revenant, who felt like he was betrayed by a group of demons who were supposed to be helping him. Right?
Okay.
And we're supposed to be seeking demons,
I mean,
and these demons are obviously bad. So yeah,
If he's going to help us kill the demons, do we really care about his motivations for it?
exactly.
Do we-
We may potentially have help against demons,
what direction
and then
is
he goes
traveling
away
in?
and does his thing. And
Like what cardinal direction?
He went off towards the northwest.
Never.
Okay.
Is it in the same direction as the Swamp Rose, or no?
I don't
No.
know how loud
Because we
Okay.
were traveling
Well,
southwest.
I don't know how
Still
loud
down.
I'm saying.
I say we go.
let's go.
Let's do
What
it.
are we doing about the orc that's standing here?
I just leave it, or kill it. I mean, whatever.
Well, he
Just
hasn't
one
really-
orc.
This orc has no information for us whatsoever.
It's going to
We
take
have
10
five.
minutes for me to be able to understand what it says.
And we
I'll-
need to follow the Revenant now. So just kill it and let's go.
Well, hold on. Let's not just murder
He
people
was just cowering. Just leave it alone.
just
randomly.
leave it. It's a random dying orc.
I mean,
Uh,
you
He probably won't
Is it
make
gonna-
it anyway.
do we
well,
do
that's what I said.
recognize?
That why do we want to leave him here to suffer?
That's
I mean,
his
if he's
problem.
gonna
He can
die
You can take
anyway,
care of that.
Just
Go.
fine.
That's on him.
Okay.
Hey, are we like? this could very well lead us into like some nest or something. Like we're
Okay.
okay with that.
Fearless is totally okay with it. So let's go.
All right. So Aerolith, I don't know what your int score is, so I'm gonna look at everyone else for confirmation that this is okay.
Davi's, she's going. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm
She's
not
going.
leaving
none of
Davy,
us got
so
hit. Jackie was the only one who got hit, and he rolled hit dice
Oh
on
my
our short
God.
rest. So
We have a yes from Davi, Eurolith, and Rafferty. Jacobus, Leo, and Cog. What are you doing?
I have
So,
no idea.
Leo,
This is
the
maybe
other
not
thing,
the
the
best
undead
idea.
thing was a revenant, which are apparently a neutral type of undead.
Oh,
that
that's right. You're
has
gone.
one
Sorry.
mission to
Okay,
basically.
that's not what I'm saying yes to. Leah said yes, so my client say no.
We can either stay here and talk to this orc and look at this site, or follow this revenant who's off to find.
You can't talk to the orc, right? Nobody speaks orcish.
No,
let's
well,
follow the revenant. Let's
following the revenant. Davi's following the revenant to go
Why are
and
we
see
following the
about finding
revenant?
this big
Where are
bad
we
eagle.
going?
Apparently, some demonic thing betrayed him, and so now
maybe
going to find
demonic,
it.
but we
Maybe
want to
demonic.
see what thing was that betrayed him because we need to find out.
Did he say how
It's
like a
demonic.
15-minute walk this was gonna be, or are we talking like following for next week?
Like this
We're
definitely.
just gonna follow the revenant. Let's go.
Well, no, hold on. This is probably ranks highest
I'll walk the
in,
other way.
in terrible plans because it's not a plan.
I didn't say it was a plan. I said let's just go.
That's exactly why we shouldn't
Your plan
do
is to
this.
follow an undead person and hope he runs into demons?
That's right.
No, we're not doing this.
I sure am
This is-
glad you guys are back.
No.
Urinen, as this conversation continues, sighs at length, looks at the orc and looks at you and says, "Do what you will, but I have business at the Swamp Rose, and that is where I will be going."
The sooner we go to the swamp rose, the sooner we'll be out of the swamp.
If y'all had just come on, we might be finding out all about these demons right now. But no, you
This-
just wanna.
do the thing that makes sense. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Fine.
Your plan to make sense of the demons to follow undead people.
did the revenant respond to my message?
It did not.
Did it get the message?
It has a 120-foot range, so you would assume so.
And I crit the hell out of that roll.
But revenants are single-minded, Rafferty. They're not going to. I mean, they're not going to sway from their path. But I'm just
You've been my
saying.
revenant
I mean,
expert.
it would behoove us to find out what they're following. I don't disagree with Davi. It's just let's see what we can find out about what it's seeking.
It's seeking demons. There's demons all over. It's gonna go kill demons. Have fun killing demons.
I think the fact that we have put together that demons have.
Oh,
Wait, we're on a different
I
map.
moved it. Sorry. I was trying to get to a different map and I moved you guys.
We now know that orcs had. He said he was working with them, right?
He said that he was betrayed by those that said they would aid him. And when asked who betrayed him, he looked to the blue creatures that are the bluish creatures that are on the ground. The orc, by the way, at this point is pretty much laying prone and just wheezing, appears to be bleeding out.
Should we? All right. Is he like 0 hit points bleeding out, or
He's not
Is he
unconscious
conscious?
yet, but he's flickering. He's getting there.
can I stabilize him?
Why would you do that?
Do you have a
Why would
medicine
you do
kit?
that? Just let him die.
Because he's obviously going to be more use to us than the undead creature shambling away from us.
Really?
All right. Let's put this picture together, okay? Undead orc is betrayed by demons. He says demons are supposed to help him. He won't stop to talk about what the demons were supposed to help him with. He is a real live orc in the Feywild when everything else here is a ghost. So, we're here to kill demons. The orcs are working with the demons. We should probably talk to the orc to figure out how they are working
Okay.
with the demons.
Who can speak Orcish? I can understand it if we keep this guy alive for 10 minutes.
Well, don't
but I
you?
can't.
Okay, so let me stabilize him, and then you work on your spell, and and then we can actually figure out what the hell's going on.
Davi, I hope you don't mind watching me flail around to performance checks to play charades with this orc.
Jacobus, roll an intelligence check for me.
Why didn't I learn Orcish?
Why didn't you?
Because you didn't roll your own character.
Okay, thank you.
Especially given Kega makes your character. You don't get Orcish.
Womp womp.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I wish I had done differently on this, but I know more now, so.
So as you are watching all of this, Kag, wait, are you trying to stabilize him,
I
Kag?
would like to, yes.
Do you have a medicine kit?
Davi does. I have an herbalism kit.
Toffee's going after the Revenant. I already told you guys.
I could just play. I
Is
can
Davi-
keep him from dying.
Has Davi just...
Rafferty is already
Dobby left.
I said it. I'm sorry. I told you guys. You're
Adults
all
with
arguing
authority.
and standing around
could
arguing
also-
with each other, and I said,
Kag,
Because our neutral good cleric loves following an
Okay.
undead creature who works with the demon.
she's
That's-
either going to put it
Okay.
out of its misery or she's going to help resolve its issue.
Kag,
Yes.
if you want to attempt to stabilize it, you also have the option of doing a minor heal since it's not unconscious yet. Davi, if you want to follow the Revenant, roll a survival check for me.
Hey, what is a minor heal?
Like, just something, if you can, like, bring back, it is on the verge of, like,
Davi,
like,
can we
barely retaining
vote-
consciousness.
Decide this by vote so you don't just get killed. Because you will definitely just get killed.
I'll
Okay,
cast
Dobby.
healing word. I'll cast healing word on the orc.
Okay, or,
I
okay.
can cast Cure Wounds, too.
All right.
Okay,
he casts.
so
He casts
that's
cure
enough.
wounds on it, so I don't have to cast healing word on it.
That's enough to kind of, stop it from bleeding out.
I'm going to
Davi,
point out
really
that
talk to
Davi has taken off.
yes, Davi has taken off.
I'm going to point it out to everybody. I'm like, hey, Davi's taken off. I think we should follow her.
She has. Her legs are like a foot and a half.
She's only a quarter football field away right now.
Turn around. She's 20 feet behind you. She's been
That's
walking.
probably true.
And you
Jacobus,
can
as
hear
you're
her
watching
for
all
like
of this,
3 football fields.
as you're watching all of this unfold and you're watching this orc that's, just kind of grunting as they attempt to stabilize it, it occurs to you that, with the from what you know of orcs, you have never met or heard of an orc that doesn't speak common.
Oh, we got lied to, guys.
It's not. It's got to be a 7 intelligence check, so it's absolutely, completely false.
So I'm gonna send a telepathic message using message to Davi, like, you can't help it if you die trying to help it. Come back.
Can she reply to that?
Yes.
You can reply
Can
to
you
this
reply to that
message.
message?
She's gonna
Circle
stick with
yes
that.
or no.
The last time we talked and listened to Gaga, ended up with a demon.
There's difference between
Jesus
Blizzard and
Christ.
Oh well.
Alright, well,
He doesn't even remember.
I hope Davi
I have no
has
context.
another character rolled.
I'm going to take off after Davi.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Leah wants her gunslinger.
Rule number 1 of D&D.
Don't split the party.
The GD party.
I'm taking off after Davi. Do I need
Okay.
to roll anything?
So you're
A new
going
character.
after Davi. Roll a survival check to find Davi.
Okay. I thought she was still within vision, a quarter of a football.
She's been gone for a fair amount.
Okay.
Okay. So you are able to track her. She's been trudging on. She's just not having it. She's heading off. So you do manage to go and find Davi.
And I catch up with her pretty quickly since
You do because your legs are substantially longer.
Oh, she can also fly over the...
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna fly right now. I've already discussed that as much as I'm going to. So
You can fly
I'm
close to the ground.
gonna catch up to Davi.
Okay. There you
We're
are.
gonna
in the
We're
swamp.
We're gonna keep on following the Revenant.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Following Davi's direction.
We legit
You
just
keep.
two of our members of our party are just gone, just like that.
You guys take off.
I mean, we're here for another
Into the
10
swamp.
minutes.
I told you guys she's going to spend her time trying to free the spirits. This spirit needs help.
And you do pass a number of ghosts as you
She
go.
will take her time to stop and deal with some of those, trying to keep
She
track
doesn't
of
even
this
catch
thing.
up to this Revenant.
So the
Dalby's
rest
next
of
As long
book.
as she can do it
How
without
to
losing
get
track
lost
of it.
as fuck in a swamp.
So the rest of you are around this orc, who is now, kind of leaned back a little bit, still looking very rough, by no means in any position to assault you. As he just kind of looks between all of you,
I'm
waiting.
gonna tie him
I'm
up.
gonna.
Okay,
Is it a him or a her?
it's a him.
Okay. It looked like she had breasts on the picture, but I assumed then.
Yeah, I had to go take a look too. It's just those manly pecs.
Orc maybe eat too much soy.
Okay, so Kag, you bind him. He doesn't even resist. He is pretty rough.
All right, so eventually I'm gonna finish this ritual, guys, and we're just not gonna tell them that I'm casting a spell that lets me understand Orcish. Then
By
you
this
try to
point,
question.
you're good. You've totally completed the ritual, Rafferty.
All right, so question him, and then don't tell him that I can understand when he tries to BS us in Orcish.
Okay.
I'm gonna nudge him with my foot and ask
You're gonna nudge him with your foot and ask what?
how his common is.
How his common is? He's gonna look up at you and he just kind of grunts again. Huh?
Does the grunt bear any meaning?
Nope, this one's just a grunt.
Orcish is just a number of grunts, different inflection.
Seriously, it's got to mean something random in Orcish, doesn't it?
My shoes are untied.
That's a complex concept. That would be 37 words in Orcish.
Well, I'll let him know that I don't believe his.
That you don't believe him? And he kind of curls this little bit of a smirk and he says in Orcish, Rafferty, "Go fuck yourself, demon."
And I'm going to say, real witty like, this is a laugh line, guys. Be ready to laugh. If he could do that, he wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
And as you are you doing this through message? Are you doing this through message or saying it?
I'm saying it because the fact that he
Okay.
replied to a question in common and a
that's-
response that made sense.
Exactly. So with that, the orc's eyes actually flicker at you, and you can see the change of expression for a moment, as he registers what's occurred.
Witty social character serves his purpose.
So with that, realizing that Rafferty has understood him, he looks back to you, Jacobus, and says in common, "Far from home, aren't you?"
I'd say the same about you.
It's a really neat trick, guys. It only takes me 10 minutes to set it up.
Wait. I got it. Wait.
Davy being dumb was entirely required for that to work.
Why are
I'm
we
going to
so-
ask him
Kill
how
me
did
now.
you get here?
We have our ways.
Yeah, and we have our ways of finding out how. It's just a lot easier for both of us.
There's nothing you can do to me that would make me betray my clan.
What interest does your clan have in the Feywild?
Their own.
So are you a pro or anti-demon type of orc?
I follow my orders.
It was a little vague on that, guys.
So
And-
In the meantime, how are Davi and Earlith doing? They're not getting anything from this thing.
You're
Yeah.
putt-putting your way along, encountering ghosts as you go.
You guys are like seriously dead, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, like you've been. I'm gonna go
You're not
erase
dead.
you from the campaign now.
You're not dead. Yurlith, roll another survival check for me.
Sure. Gonna keep doing
Did
that. till
Davi
you
roll
fail.
it too, or she's
You're
helping
since-
spirits?
Given that you are following your initial pursuit of the Revenant, yours is still good. Yurlith, you stop at another point for Davi to, kind of do these spirits. You found her, you caught up, and you take a moment to kind of look around for signs of the Revenant, and you realize that you don't see any. You don't appear to be going in the right direction.
She's giving you a polite turn the fuck around.
Davi,
Yeah.
you've lost the Revenant.
Has Davi lost the Revenant?
So you're pretty. You were sure enough of your track to follow them. You could roll another survival check to see if you can find any signs.
Don't I have the ability to sense?
Damn it!
So you pause and you look around, and sure enough,
determined to do this.
Sure enough, when you set off with your 12, you were not going in the right direction. And as you take a moment, you pause and you look around, you don't find any signs of the Revenant or that's appeared to have
She
passed
didn't
by
plan
this
for
area.
this, Casta. You've gone off the edge of the map. Here there be monsters. Literally, she will eventually
Alright.
make you fail a roll, and there will be
Davi
monsters.
will admit she's lost it. She'll go lost the Revenant's trail.
Now you
And
have
then
to
go
try to make it back to us.
Well, she just crit a survival roll. I think she knows which way she's
Yes.
going, Cag. Same team.
I think that she can find her way back. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I guess we've lost it then. I mean,
Okay.
no.
In
you
the
don't have the
meantime,
ability to
I'm
sense
gonna
the
try
undead?
to crit another persuasion roll here on the orc.
Okay.
Davi will
Insane.
tell Aerolith, sometimes it's the trying and just taking a path that makes
So I'm gonna tell the orc that the best way for him to help his clan would be making out of his situation alive, which we could help him with if he gave us information that was helpful to us but not hurtful to his clan.
Okay.
Davi!
Go for it. Davi, as you do
I'm pretty
begin to
good at
make your way
persuasion.
back.
Wait,
As you do begin to yes, what?
I mean, I could use my primeval awareness for my favorite enemy.
Oh my god. Casta,
Let me see.
shut her down. Shut her down.
Can we just erase them from the campaign?
Rocks
Just get-
fall.
Listen, they legit failed it because the 12 was not high enough to follow. By this point, Davi's been trucking along, helping Ghost, just like connect the dots with Ghost. So by this point, she was pretty far off track. But let me look up primeval awareness and
It's
see.
like
okay.
5 miles. It's ridiculous left. Right.
Um,
Leah, that was your chance to shut
Okay.
up, okay?
so
I love you.
No.
within 1 mile of you. Okay, so you can sense it within 1 mile or 6 miles if you're in your favorite train. Does it have a different one under the new?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Here, I can
me
put it in chat if you want me to.
if you don't mind. So, third level.
see.
Blah, 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 blah.
Your voice one had a different one. It's from the regular
Jester,
one.
you can communicate simple ideas. Is this? Yeah, this isn't the. Is it?
Let's see, where was it?
Okay.
Primeval awareness.
Did we lose Felix, or is he just not on?
Let's see. Third level.
She's got to spend a minute on it. And then she has 5 mile range.
It's okay if you lie this one time, Casta.
No.
Okay.
Put it in chat first.
All right. So if you want to do that, you can work on that, Eurolith, while the
Yeah,
orc responds to
Davi, help some of these ghosts around here for a minute and give me a minute, and I'll see if I can figure out how far that thing has gone.
Okay. So,
She'll keep Aerolith safe.
Rafferty, you look at the orc and he considers your words for a moment. All right. What will you give me if I answer your questions?
I'm gonna reply, well, obviously your life, and then I'm gonna pull out my healing apple and kind of like, toss it up and down a couple times. Perhaps enough gear to get you where you wish to go.
Very well.
Did Cag fall asleep?
Nope.
He looks asleep over there.
Ask carefully.
Kag is Googling on his phone. What happens when your party walks away?
You have a new party.
Well,
I
I hope
guess.
you guys like our new Davi, whatever she's gonna end up being.
Yeah, how the fuck do you explain it? Yeah, you happen upon another dwarf that's a cleric.
Her name is
So-
The
Poppy.
new Davi.
The orc has agreed to answer your questions.
Okay, guys, we need to think up some questions. He's not gonna. I agreed that he didn't have to tell us anything that would directly harm his clan.
Was that undead guy walking away your friend?
It was strange. He aided my people, not the undead, but I don't know him in life or death.
So he's not from your
Were-
clan at all?
Was your
He's not from
clan
my clan. No.
fighting these blue demons that we've seen about?
Not until recently.
Oh, this is getting deep, guys.
While these guys are questioning him, can I search those demons, look for
Sure. Go for
symbols
it.
and all that kind of stuff
Make an investigation check.
with advantage?
Unfortunately, no. If Eurolith was here, she could help you out since it's her favorite.
Yeah, but she ran off.
All right. So I'm gonna need to go. Cag, take over questioning the orc.
Okay.
I says.
Has it been? Has
If
it
he
been
does what he said he's going to do, give him my healing apple and give him some crappy gear. I'm sure there's some spares from the fight, and
All the underdog gear.
yeah, because it wasn't a deception check. I was being honest, at least on my part.
We have a
All right.
Okay.
quantum amount of leather armor in our bag of holding.
Okay.
Bye, says. Thank you
Rip.
for joining us.
Bye.
Dobby, rip your
Bye.
ass.
Says.
Don't
Okay.
go easy on them, Casta. They broke the code.
Eurolith. You finish, detecting undead within a 5-mile radius, and your mind lights up like a Christmas tree.
Oh shit!
Everything's undead.
Even the ghosts are
Oh.
undead.
Oh shit! Are the ghosts undead, or are they just? I mean, are ghosts technically undead, or are they just spirits?
I think
mean,
anything that is dead that is now not laying in the ground rotting is probably undead.
But I thought that ghosts were different. Aren't? I mean, using my knowledge of my favorite enemy, would I know if there is an inherent difference between ghosts and like undead?
Roll an Arcana check with advantage. So you're not sure, but you notice that as Davi handing out her little communion wafers lets another spirit completely dissipate. It's one less blip on your mental map.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to find it, Davi. There. All of these ghosty creatures are skewing my results.
All right, let's go back.
Because you're a search engine?
Basically, it's like a search engine for my favorite enemy. So, okay.
Hey, if you want to retcon, you could have cast a Hunter's Mark on it. You would have known where you've been for like 8 hours.
Well, I didn't.
I'm sure Casta will let you go back so you can just murder yourself in a swamp.
No, she's probably not because she keeps drawing us back. All right, we'll head back to the team. Reluctantly,
Let's get out of here before they come back.
we'll be able to track you.
The orc continues to look between you guys.
So,
So you live here?
does this orc have the marking, like the war paint on him at all?
Roll an investigation check.
With advantage because of magic crystals. Too bad.
Does
I
that
don't
use
have-
charges?
No, it does not.
No, not the investigation
Okay.
thing.
It's
Just
a
casting
passive
spells with
effect.
it.
She is checking. He does.
Interesting. Okay. I do not mention that. Um. So, do you or your clan have any dealings with the demons?
That isn't my place to say.
Are they in the Feywild
Are they in the Feywild?
on purpose?
You can. Are you asking him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you
Well,
looking for
that's
something?
That isn't my place to say. I was given orders, and I am following them.
What were your orders?
Again, I was told I would not have to betray my clan.
Did my investigation?
Is your
Oh.
plan positive
That's
or
right.
negative on demons in general? Can we ask that?
Jacobus. So you were looking these over just to, okay, so as you go and you look these over, you do notice some similarities to undead. They have kind of the glassy eyes. The skin is very taut and kind of shriveled. They appear to be, three of them appear to be humanoid, like human in nature. The other appears to be elvish. Something that strikes you as odd, though, is that whereas with most undead, you can find the cause of death still apparent on the corpse, like a sign of impact or arrows or, just like zombie-ish things, these forms seem fully intact. You can't make out what it was that killed them. Furthermore, despite these human and elven qualities, they do have very sharp teeth. Almost like they've all been filed to a point, but it appears to be a natural occurrence, not like someone actually filed their teeth. And their fingers are elongated into these sharp-like claws.
Okay, well, when we come back, I'll look at them too.
Okay. So you guys do make your way back and find yourself, with the rest of the party once more.
So am I going to see, can I see Jackie like investigating the little undead
Sure,
bodies?
yeah, you can see him. You can see him sitting over there, just kind of crouching over them, checking him out.
Okay, so I'll wander up and say, hey, you want some help with that?
Davy will go help.
Sure, nice of you to.
Well, we lost the Revenant, so what do I have to roll?
You need to roll and so what are you attempting to do?
To check these guys out. What are you looking for? Jackie.
Just trying to figure out where they would have come from or what their deal is, I guess.
Okay.
Davy
I
will
can-
take a closer look at him too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll try to figure it out.
Okay, so
And so-
Davi, do you want to roll you can, okay, so now that you have a closer look, then why don't you roll an Arcana check with advantage?
Who, me?
Yes, Lilith.
That worked out so well before. Oh, well, that works out better.
Okay. So as you look these over, it does occur to you that you have, just in your studies of the undead, you are able to identify these as ghouls.
Ooh, these are ghouls.
Ghouls, to your understanding, are creatures that are not necessarily dead and reanimated. They are actually beings that are transformed into ghouls. They are undead now, but hence the lack of, any kind of abrasions or anything that would indicate how they were killed.
Awesome. These are ghouls, guys.
What does that
Sorry,
mean?
how do they become ghouls?
They're transformed into ghouls. I'm going to explain how ghouls are made because I will have obviously have studied some of this.
Okay,
In
So-
the
GM, explain how this works.
So you know that it is done through magic. You know that it is often done through rituals that have gone wrong. The technicalities of the magical side of it, you're not as clear on. That just not really being your specialty. You have focused more on identifying them, hunting them, their patterns. But as to how one would pursue ghoulhood, That's not quite your forte.
I'm gonna explain what I know.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else have any line of questioning for the orc here that?
I'm gonna
Can you
ask
ask him?
him.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can we ask him if he's aware of what created these ghouls, or if they just happened upon them?
And he'll look over to you that and say, I know rumors of their origin.
So, if you know of rumors of their origin, I mean, is that something? I mean, can you tell me some more about that, or what? What do you mean you have heard? Can you tell us the rumors?
If I tell you, will you let me go?
Not yet.
I mean, I don't know what deal you made with these guys, but I mean, you're answering questions, so I assume that some kind of deal was made. Um, I presume, knowing my party the way that I do, that if they made a deal, they intend to keep it.
Your word has little value for me.
Well, I understand, but you seem a lot better off than you did a little while ago when we encountered you. I mean, you were very near death. You don't look so near death anymore.
Hmm.
Are there any other are there orc corpses around us?
Yes,
I
there are.
mean,
There are 2 other orc corpses.
I mean, can I do some? I mean, I don't know if persuasion is not really my forte, but I mean, I don't personally. I mean, other than finding out where these schools are coming from and whether it's a purposeful thing or if it's, I mean, I think that's pretty useful.
I mean, I
I
guess
mean, what else do you want to ask, Gag?
I'm most interested in what this association with demons is. The undead aren't really much of a concern to me, unless you think there's some
Except
kind of
that it might
connection.
be demonic. Okay, so
Jacobus, roll an Arcana check with advantage.
I'm gonna ask the orc. I'm gonna ask him, without telling the rumor, since you're clearly holding that card pretty close to your chest as a get out of this situation. Do you believe it to be connected to any of the demon activity that's been around here, these schools?
What I believe. Sorry, thinking. Ooh, loud. I have found that large events are rarely coincidental. Jacobus, from your Arcana
I'm gonna
roll,
look meaningfully at Cag.
as they're discussing, the undead and the demons, it's all very relevant to you.
I'm gonna look very meaningfully at Cag. I think that do you have other questions? I mean, it's most likely not a coincidental situation that we have ghouls and demon activity.
Yes, I guess I'm also more curious as to how the orcs are getting here, why
But
they're
he's
here.
not going to reveal that. I mean, what was the deal that you guys made?
That we'd let him live if he cooperated with us, and he
And
wouldn't have to betray his clan.
Okay, so do you think that
Let me ask you, Elf, how did you get here?
Pure blind accident.
Ours was not so accidental, though I imagine we traveled much the same way many do.
So I mean,
Who is your clan working with?
he's not going to reveal any of that.
My clan is working with other clans.
Oh, this is a
Other clans?
Oh, that's interesting.
What'd you say, Jacobus?
Other orc clans?
Yes,
Who's
among
who are you-
others.
Who are you battling?
Those who would stand in the way of us claiming our territory.
But this isn't okay. But this is the Feywild. This isn't your territory. I mean, you don't even. I mean, up until recently, your kind was never even here.
That's
It
the
will
point.
be.
Yeah.
So this can't be your territory. So you can't claim something that can't possibly be yours.
And how do you think any land was ever claimed?
I mean, I suppose we could have a philosophy whether their territory. Clearly,
I
there
mean,
is to take over the Feywild. So
but that's a foolish endeavor. I mean, it
But
seems
it's-
like
but it's not because in some facet they're in league with either Demogorgon, Orcus, or one of the others that is currently involved with this whole situation that we find ourselves.
okay. Well, I would like to know more about the ghouls, but CAG does not. So, um,
I just don't want to. I have been happy to learn about the ghouls, but not in exchange for. I
I mean, but
accept
you're
no
not
more
going to get
answers.
the information that you want from him because we've promised that he doesn't have to betray his clan.
Right, but that doesn't mean he can't tell us.
Okay.
The
Who's
fact
supplying the undead to the clan?
That I know only vaguely. But that information would betray my clan.
Wait, all right, hold on. Quick status
You have
check.
a PM, Jacobus.
There are orcs on the ground. There are ghouls on the ground. Yes?
Yes.
The orcs were and the undead orc, which yes, I know it has another name, were fighting the ghouls.
Yes. The ghouls came onto us in our camp, and the other creature, whatever it was, I assumed came to aid them as well, but instead it aided us.
Okay, so you have the service of ghouls in your own clan.
Doubt
And
it.
he doesn't respond.
Okay, so that's a yes. So these just happen to not be your ghouls.
If you were asking me why they attacked us, I don't know.
Okay. There's a lot of layers of shit here. Anyone else have any weigh in?
No, I've said what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I guess I think Aerolith, we unless anyone else has any information they'd like to pry, I think finding the source of the ghouls is going to be a key, and I think yeah.
Jacobus is going to motion at the ghouls and ask the orc if they came from Orcus or Demogorgon.
You seem knowledgeable.
I know
You
a
tell
thing or
me.
two.
Tell me, which do you come from?
Well, I think that the ghouls come from Orcus, and I think that you're Demogorgon, but I can't be 100% sure at this point.
But you, who do you serve? Are you one of them?
Who's asking the questions here?
Hmm.
Not you.
In my mind, Jacob's like spits on him or slaps him or something.
Kicks him.
So, all right, let's think about this. What do we know about the Demogorgon?
Well, you know nothing.
That
You know
hence-
nothing about the Demogorgon.
hence the question: what do we know about the Demogorgon?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I mean, you seem to know a
Well-
little bit more than most of us.
I know that you were.
But
Oh, you cut out,
that was what?
Jackie.
Oh, that you were part in summoning.
I have no recollection of this.
We know.
I wonder.
Yeah,
why.
we know. You sold your memory.
What exactly are you worrying about?
I guess. What do we know about Orcus?
What do you want to know about him?
I don't know. I don't know anything about demons. Like, what-
Orcus, the demon lord of the undead.
wait. Seriously?
Yes.
I feel like that answers the whole situation here.
Demogorgon is the prince of demons.
Okay. So, Orc clans are working with Orcus. At some point here,
No, they're not working with Orcus. It's the ghoul against.
but our Orcish friend here, who I shall now call Bob,
That's your name.
yes, I'm naming him after
It's going to be
myself.
very confusing.
My
Steve.
name is Batul.
Say bat.
All right, Batul.
This is bad.
Batul has inadvertently
Bad tool.
confessed that he has the use of ghouls in his clan, and he's not sure why these ghouls are attacking him, but they're not from his clan.
You're making a lot of assumptions. I mean,
When
Yeah,
the guy doesn't answer, it's pretty clear what the answer is.
is it?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said that.
I mean, I don't. The ghouls are connected to this whole demon nonsense.
All right. Here, if you want to ask your question, then we'll let him go after you ask it. But
Okay, can you tell me? You said you heard rumors about the origin of these particular ghouls that were attacking you. Can you tell me some more about that?
I have heard that those who would seek to worship some of the most vile creatures in creation, who partake in acts of cannibalism, find themselves rewarded with a new form and immortality.
Does this sound familiar to you, Jackie?
That body.
I've heard a thing or two about this.
You're so forthcoming. Okay.
so okay. So ghouls come from people who eat people.
That seems alarming in the extreme.
Yeah.
Because that means that whatever is happening it's significant enough that they're willing to overcome something like that, because I don't feel like that is something that most average people would do. I mean, we know that Jackie likes to occasionally snack on someone, but I mean, by and large, the rest of us do not.
All right. Well, We told him we'd release him after that question, so
Okay, go ahead.
I'll start
I mean,
untying him.
he's still pretty damaged, right? Even with
He
the
is.
healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets to his feet. He's no longer bleeding out, but he's still wobbly.
Rafferty was going to give him an apple.
Yes. So Rafferty hands over the apple. If you guys still have any of the crude leather armor sets from before.
Yeah, we'll give him all the things that we
We have
promised.
infinite amount of leather armor.
He takes them and he doesn't turn his back on you. He watches you as he begins to slowly back away into the swamp.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just remember who did this for you.
If I find you on the field of battle, I will make sure your death is honorable.
He has no idea who we are.
Yep. We're the Academy.
Remember that.
And
Tell your
Daddy
friends.
Goes back into the swamp, and she's like, "I just can't even."
Fuck this, I'm going for the Revenant, man.
Also, we're recruiting.
My chances were better out there.
Tell your friends.
Tell your enemies. We are the
The
Academy.
Revenant
very
was
reasonable
smarter than
tuition.
this.
Okay, so how do we feel about a brief pause so that we can do a bathroom break?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
We feel good about that.
I will be right back.
The older we get, the more we feel good about that.
We feel good about that because I have drank 3 cups of tea.
What's wrong with you? What was that?
Much better.
Yeah, I appreciate the break.
Me too.
I do that thing where I'm talking, so I keep sipping water, and by the time we get to this point, I'm like, "Ooh, I've made a mistake."
How's your day been, Felix?
Wonderful. It was only a little bit chaotic when I got. Actually, it was pretty crazy in Edmonton, like really busy. And I went to Canadian Tire to a greenhouse because Rose really wanted a particular flower. And when I asked somebody for help, because Rose told me I would never find it on my own, she more or less pointed in a direction and said, "Oh, they should be over there." The rest of the prep. So I did eventually find them. It took a while. I wasn't particularly rushing though.
That's your story, and you're sticking to it.
Had to stop and smell the roses.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we just
The
missing Cog?
kids were mostly outside.
I don't know if Leah's here.
Yeah, I don't have Leah on camera, so I'm not sure. That is nice, though, that you can release the kids into the wild and be like, go be loud out there.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I'm going to get really good at making pretty patterns with my dice.
It's all about the dice towers.
You know. I knock those down too often and make gigantic crashing noises. So
Yeah, that's true.
All right, I'm back. I don't know. It looks like Cag is not back yet.
yeah, I think he's getting food at a shocking turn of events.
In a shocking turn of events. Well, while we're waiting on him, if you look in my corner chat room, you'll see the nail polish I put on tonight.
Nobody cares.
That's cute.
Look how pretty that is.
That's really
It
pretty.
is pretty. I like that color.
I am so in love with this color. And it's got flakies in it too. It just is like my favorite thing in the entire world. Iridescent flakies and this color blue. I will probably use this
until the
entire
next nail
bottle.
polish you put on, and then you never put this one on again.
Is that one of your new ones from your recent pickup? Or?
Yeah, it's the one from the recent. It was one of the 80s inspired ones. It's called 88 Contact. It's off of it was a car was the inspiration. Anywho.
They're just making that shit up.
No, I saw her inspiration picture.
They literally walked outside like, there's a car. That's a nail polish.
Well, I mean, it's actually a pretty decent, turn, because of course, that nail polish is.
Of course I know.
Was originally.
Think about who you're talking to.
From car lacquer, but acrylic nails was actually originally.
How do I mute somebody?
Invented by a dentist. So.
I actually did not know that. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad that I now.
I mean, it's interesting, right? I mean, it's interesting stuff.
That made me forget something important on Don.
Also, that tea, that Harney and Sons tea, the ginger, coconut, vanilla, lemongrass thing.
Yes.
Amazing. It's called Organic Bangkok. It's the blend, and it's amazing.
I'm gonna stab Kaganos when he comes back. Can I do that?
Yes, please. Please.
I'm definitely blaming, but I'm with.
Okay. So, you guys have your 3 orc
I'm very
corpses.
surprised Jackie didn't stab that orc.
Yeah, I was actually really. I was waiting to insight check him to see what he was going to do.
So the only reason I didn't is because Rafferty went and
Because what?
because Rafferty promised we'd release him.
I mean,
that's not really stopped you before.
I was gonna say.
Jacobus is a man of his word. Note it now.
I mean, by his very nature, he shouldn't be. But okay.
Wow, that's racist as fuck.
Ouch. That
I'm talking about his alignment and everything. I mean, but okay.
Yeah, just because he's got red skin. Wow.
There could be good ones out there.
yeah, I'm one of them. I think I've proven it to you guys.
I mean, yeah, I think that you're a great addition to our team.
Yeah,
I mean, don't
back,
get me
don't
wrong.
back off the statement before. That's all right.
Listen, I haven't said a bad thing about Jackie. You're
Mhm.
the one who is like, well, I thought he was gonna kill that orc.
He seems to have a bad taste in his mouth for orcs. That's all.
I mean, I understand that. I mean, who would have a good taste in their mouth about orcs?
You see what I did there? Did you?
I totally saw it. Yeah.
Yes. High five.
And yeah, I really did want to stab the orc, but I also don't want to make my oath breakers.
Oh, that's right. See, that's a good point. Especially not right in front of this dude over here. I'm gonna obviously cock my head over it.
That guy.
Urine. Urine.
Urinen says, as much as I appreciate this familial bonding you're engaging in, are we ready to continue?
Listen, we're fucking character building right now. You fucking get in the way of that. You're not part of the academy. You're not one of us.
Davy says, I'm ready to go.
And he actually
I
cracks a
flash on gang
smile.
signs at him.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, can we have a gang sign?
Can we have a gang sign?
You
That's
absolutely
your task for
can.
next week. Come up with academy gang sign.
Our color is pink.
Hey,
I haven't done the Bloods thing in so long. I need to work on it.
Why
I
did you
can't
do it
believe
to
you know what
start
that
with?
is.
Don't judge my life.
We're judging you.
Where's your teardrop tattoos?
Not supposed to have face tattoos in the military.
Did Leah choke?
All right.
That's just hope. Am I just hopeful?
shut up.
Oh God,
So,
my wish might
what
come
are you guys
true.
doing?
Nice.
I'm heading to Swamp Rose, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going on.
To the swamp
All right.
rose. Wait.
Okay.
Did we search the orcs?
Yes.
We did.
Nope.
I think.
You
Sorry,
investigated them.
Search the orcs for any useful shit.
I don't think you investigated the orcs. You
right.
investigated
We
your
looked
the
them
one
up
you were talking
tribal
to.
signs and stuff.
Davy will help with the
I
investigation.
think that was only the live one. Okay, roll. Whoever's investigating can roll with advantage. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, pick somebody.
I have a +0 to it, so can someone else
Have a
do
+1.
I have +1. Jacobus for roll.
Oh my!
it?
Okay, Jacob.
Jesus.
I mean, I was kidding. Jacobus does not roll.
Yeah, well, Jacobs is fucking blind.
Oh my god.
He actually, so Jacobus this entire campaign has actually needed glasses, but has no idea.
Are you sure your stuff is not set to 1d10?
So, Jacobus, you go. You start rummaging through them. You find some obvious things. There's a war axe, some hide armor, the 3 bedrolls. They appear to be traveling light, though. You don't notice like a lot of gear.
I mean, isn't that alone a little bit unusual?
It means they're traveling back and forth. I'm guessing.
Oh, well.
I mean,
Okay.
so, yeah, I didn't mention
I
it
mean, I
earlier.
don't typically study orcs. I
I
mean,
mean, there's probably a camp
Just try to
somewhere around here where
avoid
people are
them.
coming from.
These orcs have the same war paint markings from the other orcs we encountered, so they're probably of the same group. So that guy we just let go is going to be real sad when he makes it back to camp.
Do you think that was the camp, though?
They have the same markings, they're part of the same
Yeah,
clan.
but I mean, do you think it came from a bigger group still somewhere that wasn't something like forward?
I mean, there was
Scout thing?
roughly a dozen tracks. We killed 3 back there, or 4. There's 4 here, so seems like
Yeah,
they're
but
rotating.
do you think
searches.
that was the whole group, or do you think that group came from a bigger group?
Oh, I imagine that group came from a bigger group, but I mean, it could be that
I
they're
would
like
think somewhere they have a big war camp, the swamp somewhere.
Mhm.
They're doing something with.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Okay. So you guys are moving on.
I mean,
We're
can we
following
ask
Yernan.
Yernan if
Why
that
would
is
we
of
ask
concern?
Yernan anything?
Well, I mean, they're wanting to know about the orcs and the demons. They were talking about the orcs coming in as well. So, I mean, is that of concern to you guys? I mean, I know that.
The arrival of the orcs, certainly.
Well, I
We
mean,
find
is
it-
that, I mean, we're projecting that there's actually quite a significant number of orcs in this very swamp. I mean, is there something that you need to call people to do something about it?
I am here for much the same reason you are, to determine how they're getting in. It is not considered really easy travel to and from the Feywild, and we have our suspicions that if they are able to do so, especially in such great number, they're receiving aid in some way from someone on this side.
Which would be
We don't
And-
know yet.
a bad thing.
The Queen believes that the aid is likely coming from the Sealy Court. It is not my place to become involved in politics, though I can tell you that I know someone has broken an oath in the Swamp Rose.
Oh. Okay. Well, so this is looking more and more like we really do need to get on to the Swamp Rose.
Let's go.
Let's hit it.
Imagine that.
I'm going to.
Wife, not DM, wants to be like, watch your cheeky self.
Davi will be Rafferty's seeing eye dwarf.
Seeing eye dwarf.
So who's gonna be Jacob as the seeing eye person?
So, you guys leave the camp, and you begin trudging through once more.
How
you
long
know.
has this been?
Let's see, you guys. It's probably been about 7 hours now. About 2
No,
hours since we
I mean-
started, about 7 since you woke up.
Right, but so about 2 hours we've been at this orc camp or whatever.
Oh, no. You've spent closer to, between going back and coming and talking to everybody and everything, maybe 30 to 40. It hasn't taken a ton of time.
Okay, so but when I did the primeval awareness, that would have canceled the concentration I needed for Pass Without a Trace, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't primeval awareness it's an
a class.
ability? It's not a
Right,
spell.
but it's still. But
Oh,
it
it's not a
requires
spell?
But
No,
it
it says if
requires
you're concentrating on it, if you're concentrating on a spell.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
you have
concentration.
How long does that last for, though?
Primeval awareness?
Primeval
It's-
awareness lasts for.
It only works, I guess, like a radar blip.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like there's any limitations on how many times I can use it.
So-
No.
So, but it would have broken my concentration on Pass Without a Trace.
Yes.
But if it hadn't broken my concentration, we would still have Pass Without a Trace for like another 20 minutes. But it's moot because. So, and I'm not going to cast it again because it's a level 2 spell and I only have 2 slots.
So,
It only lasts a while, too, doesn't it?
An hour, but
pretty
but I thought that we were going to be permanently split from you guys, so I did the primeval awareness.
I start running 2 campaigns, Saturday, Sunday.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Davi and I have a better chance of surviving on our own than with the rest of.
and that's
So-
why you deciding to go off on that belief alone is why you should never be without the group.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure Davi could probably survive very well on her own.
I mean,
Aerolith
that's
is
literally
better.
what she does, and Aerolith would just fall in with whoever. I mean, she don't really care that much. She just wants to have a good time. So I think we
Hang
would
out
be
with
fine.
them.
Well, I guess that knows.
What?
What?
I guess we know where we stand, right?
Yeah.
Davi would miss you guys. She wouldn't leave you
I
for
mean,
long.
Earlith
You
is
literally
Rafferty
just
would end up drowning,
you
and
literally just
Kagan
left
would
us
end
for
up
long.
a werewolf, and Jackie would end up stabbing everything. I mean,
You literally just left.
Well, you were supposed to
and
follow.
Dad,
The only
poor
reason you
Leo,
came
he'd
back-
end up a mushroom. He's
Was-
just going to turn into a mushroom one of
The
these
only
days.
reason you came back is because you were so good at surviving on your own, you got lost.
Details,
Listen.
details.
Listen, just
I survived just fine. I
Well-
may not have been going where I thought I was going. It doesn't matter.
You can survive 30 minutes. Good. You're about to live with our
I
daughter.
take the path where it leads me.
Lost.
So
It's an excellent catchphrase for somebody who doesn't know how to plan.
you guys take
You also
off
didn't
once
follow
more.
the path because you got lost.
I blaze the path, buddy.
So, Yurden takes off once more. Cog and Earlith, you guys kind of choosing the way. And you are very thankful. Oh, well, okay, hold on. Roll, whoever's, leading the way, roll survival for me. Whoever's keeping an eye out, roll perception,
I'll do both.
recommence.
Oh, well, I won't do very well.
I guess my
Jack,
bird,
you better
I
do
guess my
some
bird would be
surviving
circling
too.
around.
Here, I'm gonna try to keep
Okay.
watch. Cag, why don't you see if there's a better place to go?
Why did this come off advantage?
Okay, so sticks flying around too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So.
My rolls are shit now.
Stick actually lets you know, Leo, as you guys set back off, you're back in like the thigh-high water. Very unpleasant. But knowing your sensibilities, he actually spots a land bridge of sorts up ahead, a place that's kind of weaving through the swamp where the land does appear to be higher. And the
Guys, not shitty water up ahead.
and the general area appears to have been frequently trekked. You can tell that it appears to be kind of a favored method of getting through the swamp. So you guys kind of head over that way, and you are able to, finally work
Do we
your
want
way
to
up.
walk on the road?
Good question.
I mean, I'm all for it, but there might be some consequences to that.
So the person in the group that has been to Ranger School says no. Cog, however, has never been to Ranger School. So he's
There's
like,
another person in this group that has been to ranger school.
Who is by definition a ranger?
yes.
Well, yeah, but I didn't roll very well, so I think the road's a great idea.
This is a common sense thing, not so much a
Yeah.
I would say we walk on it, but because there seems to be stuff everywhere anyway.
it depends on how much attention you want to draw to yourself. I mean, if we go on the road, our way will be easily tracked. I mean, we're
Is
not.
this just an open field, by the way? Is there like walking through a forest, or can we just see the horizon, basically?
There's a road. We're walking to the side of the road, and it's all open. Why
There
are we
are-
doing this?
There are trees. They come in dense clusters and they come in more sparse clusters. Where you are currently, it is pretty open. You've got a few big trees here and there. But for the most part, even as though Stick does see that this area is obviously more favored. It's definitely a very informal road. It appears to be the obvious way to get through the swamp. People have gone over it. They've kind of stomped down a lot of the vegetation.
I walk up on it, I cast prestidigitation, and I clean off all my clothes.
Okay.
Screw this.
all right, and he cleans off my clothes after.
And mine.
And mine.
Nope. Get a laundry service.
Okay.
That's why we have you, Leo.
So Leo is clean. The rest of you are wet, dripping.
Well,
Um,
my clothes are fine.
oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Jacobus is good. Jacobus
Actually, I don't
is
even
good.
know if I can cast it on somebody else.
Jacobus
Yes,
doesn't know what
you
you're
can.
whining about. He's good to keep going through the water. Um,
I guess I can. Okay, fine.
Yay!
Davi will whine at him until he does.
As long as you're not too big, I can only do a big foot.
so you guys head up onto it. It's still muddy. Your boots suction in the mud a little bit, but you are able to make much better time now. No longer in unfavorable, or what's the right word? Difficult terrain.
I take it back. I do
Um,
not clean Uranus clothes.
Urinin remains, mucky. You guys continue on for a while until eventually you come to this old dock-like structure. Let me move you guys over.
To this battle map.
Look, I ran off after the Revenant trying to get you guys more experience, but no.
Don't make excuses now.
Re-rolling is not a good way to get experience.
I had a Revenant on my side. I mean,
Let me drop you.
Who won?
Oh my goodness. Where are you guys? Okay, there we go. Okay, Jacobus, Davi, Kag, Leo,
She remembered this time.
Rurlith, Rafferty,
Where are we though?
and
Yeah.
the bird whose name I don't want to mangle.
Are we on the fog of war or something?
Kibble.
I don't see
Let me
myself.
Let me see.
Don't see us.
You shouldn't be on Fog of War. Let me figure out what's going on.
It's all colorful. I just don't see
Yeah,
us.
it's all colors, not black and white, but I can't see myself. Are
Weird.
we on
Okay,
the
let
wrong
me.
layer or something?
Did you put us?
Oh, you know what? You are on the wrong layer. Okay, hold on. Okay. There you go.
Yay!
So, you come up on this bridge
Wait, why am I in the back?
because I just dropped you on the map.
Quickly, arrange yourselves and don't totally meta game that this is it's a combat map.
I sense that we're being cartographed.
Oh, if we're not in water, then Davi will actually be up by Kega, the
Okay.
front, instead of by Rafferty.
There's it's a older bridge. You can see looking out over the parts of it are submerged in water.
I guess we go across it. I don't know.
How can I tell?
I feel like we're being set up.
I mean,
You can do whatever you want. I'm gonna start putting maps like this with just like nothing.
Davi will
Walk through
roll a
the forest.
perception.
just like don't
Davi
put.
will spend some time studying and looking to see if there's anything that stands out.
Okay.
We're so metagaming this.
We've just been walking along all while. There's a map. Everybody stop.
We've been following the road. We would probably Does it look
It's a
like it
half
can?
submerged
it can
bridge. It's
hold
Yeah,
our
we've been
weight.
half submerged the entire time.
Well, that's true, but still.
Like if it looked real bad, we'd be like, oh, I guess we just have to walk through the water.
She's just trying to figure out why the hell the bridge collapsed. Is it
You look at
old?
Evernavi. It's definitely sagging. It's waterlogged. There are places where the water is kind of coming and going over. You're not sure how stable it is, to be honest.
Does it
How
look
high
into
is
the river? Does it look like we're gonna get swept away if we fall in? Is it just
You can roll a perception check.
oh,
And if you want to see how high it is, Jacobus, you can roll an investigation check.
But
do I have advantage?
We can just have Jacobus
Yes.
carry us across. It's fine.
Nope.
Okay. Jacobus looking down, it doesn't look to be, it's kind of hard to tell because of the murky water, but it doesn't look to be that deep. You have no reason to think that it's any, all the plants are about the same. You have no reason to think that it's any deeper than the other parts of the swamp that you've gone through, It's
It's
just...
not like quick water or fast water. Or
No, it's not. It's stagnant, just like everything else.
Okay, well, we would just walk across this thing.
I'm all
There's no
for
reason
going
we're not
across.
walking
Does one of us have a stick or something? Could just kind of tap
a
on the
stick.
board as we go. It's a bridge, people.
What are we
It's
afraid
not
of?
a massive trap.
Stick your owl down in the water.
Yeah.
See, what really happened is Cassa showed us the battle map too soon.
There are 6 of you to arrange on something,
Jacobus will start walking.
Okay.
There's no reason we should hesitate to walk over this bridge
Yep.
in character.
Here we go.
That's right.
Yeah, there is. Davi was studying the bridge just to see if it was safe, and it looks a little
Derp.
rickety. So she would probably advise that we take it at least,
Yeah, we'll
Spread
walk
it
across
apart.
it Yeah, good. Okay, we're gonna split the
careful.
party and then walk across it. Even better.
No, but just be careful.
Yeah, but
Don't just run out there all at once.
I'm actually gonna
So,
walk on my
Jacobus.
hands all the way across.
You take
Turn
out.
into a bear and the bridge goes.
Crunch.
So Jacobus is heading out. Who's Kagri? Are you as well, or how's this going?
Yep.
Okay. So you're just walking across?
Yep.
All right. Kag, take on out, heading over. I mean, it's a little, it's a little uneasy. You can tell that it sways a little bit. You're not sure that the posts in the bottom are quite as well anchored as they used to be. You can feel it sagging a little bit, but you seem fine. It's just an old bridge. Maybe not your best life choice, but not your worst one either.
I'm gonna go on across the bridge too.
So do
Okay,
we make
so
that?
is Dobby.
Are we all the way
we're all gonna
across?
cross this bridge.
Is
Okay.
the bridge over water?
Now? He's back.
Hey,
Welcome back.
Came back to make sure I lived.
Listen.
We're metagaming cast us battle map. At the moment.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
She's like, you're walking across, everything's fine, and then you find a bridge. Here's a map.
So,
Oh,
You guys
I don't like
on?
the looks of this bridge.
I see exactly. I didn't think it was a bad thing to stop and study this
to be
bridge.
fair, it's the first bridge you've encountered. It's really the
Thank
first
you.
structure.
It was not a bad thing to stop and actually do a perception check. Thank you.
It was the
So you
first
guys-
bridge.
I like how Jacobus is like, I made it. So you guys all walk across, and everything is just fine, except for
Oh shit.
Jacobus.
Pretty good round.
The moment that your boots hit right around the center of the bridge, two 12-foot tall spouts.
Wait. So did Jacobus cross with me?
I don't know.
I don't know what
You
order
can
we're
range
in anymore.
yourselves.
I was
Two 12-foot
forced
tall
back.
spouts
I mean,
shoot out of the water.
I went across the.
I would have been
bridge
behind Jacobus.
after
probably.
Cat.
Yeah.
Davi was leading Rafferty across the bridge.
I guess
because,
I'm just
know.
trying to make sure the timing of where people are actually makes sense for.
So your traditional marching order is Kagan Yurlith, and then Yurnan, and then Rafferty and Dobby, Leo, and Jacobus at the back.
Yeah, I probably would have been behind Jacobus,
Okay. So
I think.
these two 12-foot water spouts shoot out of the water, flanking you on either side, with large, arm-like protrusions jolting out, and they immediately attempt to slam down on you. The first one hits.
Why'd you piss off the river?
Let me.
I need a GM ruling on whether a water creature can really hurt someone wearing a ring of water walking.
Oh,
It's a good question.
You can walk
I think
on
that
it,
means
doesn't
it
mean
hits him
can't
harder.
Smack you around.
Jacobus sticks his foot in the waterfall.
I'm so
Okay.
glad this hasn't came back.
The first one hits you twice, slamming one fist in the other. The first one is a 20 to hit. The second one is a 17.
They both hit.
And then the second one is a 25 and then an 8.
The 8 doesn't.
Okay.
Holy fuck! It's 65
So-
feet away.
Do-do-do-do.
I guess I'll uncanny dodge the first hit.
Okay.
We get to fight something.
So let me go on. Okay. So the first one, you uncanny dodge. The second one, let me find my dice. With my amazing rolls, hits you for 8 damage. The other one comes down from the other side. That
Oh.
one does hit you for 14. And then the next one misses entirely.
Did Jacob just die?
Sorry, it was how much damage?
8 and 14. So math, 22?
Technically, she didn't tell us to roll for initiative yet. I don't think that should count.
She popped up the turn order that counts.
Everybody's on it. Okay.
Okay.
My roller.
Uh,
Okay.
Rolling for shit, y'all.
Why can't I get these guys to roll? What's going on?
You didn't roll initiative, Tracy.
Oh, sorry.
You have to do better than I did. And be possible not to.
Hey, I actually rolled decent initiative for once.
I've been rolling my past several rolls.
Don't know
have been
why I'm
pure
still at the
crap.
bottom, but I you know.
She hasn't
It-
ordered it
she-
yet.
yeah.
Okay. So. All right. So, as they come down and just slam these gigantic fists of water, you do watch this dock kind of bows underneath Jacobus with the weight. Given that he just went, Dobby, we're going to let you go on and take the first turn.
Okay, give me a second because I'm trying to figure out distances and all.
Yeah.
I just realized, oh crap, I get to go
Jacobus.
first.
Jacobus, all you have to do is run perpendicular to the bridge. You have the ring.
He has a ring of water walking. That's what happens if you drop kicks one.
I mean, this.
Okay, what distance was that? How far away are we from this thing?
Far. 75.
Really far. Damn.
I mean, you can walk up.
Okay. Javi is going to walk up and cast Shield of Faith on Jacobus.
Okay.
So I can walk. Why can't I select myself anymore?
You need to click the pointer again.
Oh, that's why I can't. Thank you. Okay, so I can go 1, 2, 5. And then she will cast it on Jackie. So that gives you +2 AC. Which is a spell. And so I can do a spell and a cantrip in the same turn? Or not? I don't remember.
Sure.
It
Is
read
that
the
what it is?
cantrip. So it'll tell you if it takes an action or if it can.
The Shield of Faith is a bonus action. So
You
I
should be
think I
good.
can. So she will then cast Sacred Flame on whatever, I guess, the closest, the south
Okay.
thing is.
60
Need to make
feet.
dexterity.
All right. Let me make. There's my d20.
I love when
Okay,
you do
so-
squares on this. Pythagoras just goes out the window.
So it gets a 20 on its dex save.
Oh well.
So it takes
Worth a
3
try.
points. Okay. All right. You good, Davi? Yep. Okay, Cog, your turn.
I am going to call lightning.
Okay.
Oh, these are water creatures. I think they're weak to lightning.
That's what I'm hoping.
But already conductive, it goes right through them. Are they
So,
grounded?
so I'm summoning the cloud directly above them, and I am casting at 3rd level.
Might I say there are notes for this week? It's perfect.
Wow, I rolled 2 1s on 3d10s. Wow. That is
Okay.
a dex save against DC
Doing
14.
it. Okay, the first is a 3, the second is a
Oh,
9.
it only
so they
hits
both
one.
fail.
It only hits one. I'm
okay.
aiming at the top.
Which one? Okay, the top one. Okay, so it fails either way.
I
Okay.
feel like calling
fine.
that a bolt at that level of damage is insulting
It
to
was like
actual
pew
bolt.
pew. It was more like static electricity.
Okay. Anything else, Cog?
I am going to move closer.
Okay.
I'm not getting on that fucking bridge.
You've already gone over the bridge.
Yeah.
I got you safely over it. Just don't.
Castle really missed an opportunity to have him attack Rafferty again.
The end of my turn.
Okay. Rafferty.
Okay. Cag or Davi, how close are you to those things where you're standing? If you could
About 50
give me a.
feet.
Okay. Good.
You are 80.
So right here, and ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the finger guns.
Pew 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 pew.
Rafferty's my new buddy.
I wish that does he really say pew pew, because that would just make everything perfect.
Does that hit the top one?
That barely hits.
+4, so it does 8 damage. I'm gonna target the same one with my second ray.
All right.
He's getting both finger guns, guys.
I think you can add that invocation somewhere on your sheet, by the way. Probably does it automatically for you.
I think that does not hit.
That does not hit, unfortunately. So the first one you go, the second one, it does seem to kind of just, bow to the side and it dodges. Yeah, both attention, the attention of both of these creatures still, even as you guys attack, appears to be firmly on Jacobus.
Ooh. It may not like the fey or the fiendish blood.
I'm dead.
So,
You have hit points.
Rafferty, anything else?
AC.
Well, not at the moment. No, I'm safe.
Okay.
That's what's important.
And somebody else, everything is fine.
He's going Dobby. I'm going
This
to end up with
topwater
Rafferty on my shoulders, aren't I?
Oh my
This top water
lord.
elemental. It's going to pull back its
Rafferty
fist,
again.
getting ready to wham again. The first one, oh man, the first one actually only hits for 3, missing. The second one, no, excuse me. The first one hits for 10. The second one hits for 8, which I'm
Both
assuming
miss,
both miss Jacobus.
They both miss it.
All right, so it goes
Like
and it
the
swings at you, but now seeing it coming, you're able to kind of like, switch one side and then the other, completely missing them. Leah, that brings us to your turn.
I am going to back up. Got Screw standing in that.
You did note that I did 8 damage to it, right, Kelsey?
Yes, I did. Got that down.
And
I will figure out how to add that.
No, it's
I'm going to twin a guiding bolt at both of them at level 1 because I'm out of level 2s. I don't have a fireball, but we're not going to drop that on Jacobus. How do I cast it?
I'm surprised that fireball isn't the first thing he goes for.
So let's hit the top one.
What is that?
I assume that hits.
That's Jordan. He's actually on the map.
I assume 22 hits.
Yes, 22 hits.
And let's see. And does 13 hit?
13 does not hit, unfortunately.
All right, well, the top
So.
one takes 15 damage.
All right.
And the next attack on it has advantage.
Okay. So we'll do a little marking.
And I'm going to convert some sorcery points into spell slots as a bonus action, but I don't really know how that works, so I'm going to look that up for next turn.
Okay. All right. We'll do this for our advantage thing. Did I close the initiative thing? There we are. Okay. So, Jacobus, your turn.
I'm going to stab it.
Okay.
Oh
Go for
man.
it.
With advantage.
Yeah, you get
With
sneak attack on
advantage?
it.
With
Yeah,
advantage.
guiding bolt.
Sweet.
I'm just be readying my.
All right, that hits. Okay, so you go, you draw back, and you slash at it. And unfortunately, much as you would expect, slashing into water, it hits, it does some, but it's just it doesn't quite have the impact that you would have hoped.
I'm going to disengage
Okay.
and
Oh, I found out how to add the extra force damage. Thank you, Tab.
Most of that stuff is on the sheets.
Yeah, you just have to edit
Take
it.
off your jack of all trades, by the way. I think
Anything
you-
else, Jacobus?
no, that's it.
Okay, that brings us back to you, Eurolith. Or to you, not back to.
Okay. I am going to. Does that guy get? Do we get advantage on that guy all the time, or just the
No, it was
first
just one.
attack?
Done.
Okay,
Let me
that's a
remove
shame.
his doodad.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hunter's mark him first
Okay.
and foremost, and then I don't know what that, and then oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I did the wrong one again. Hold on. There we go. I think anyway, I don't know. The And then I'm going to shoot him.
Okay.
Actually, did Jackie move?
Yes. He's
All
heading
right.
across the bridge.
All right.
And you notice that as he does, their attentions follow with him.
Okay, but that's fine. I am going to hold on just a second. What is my range for my breath weapon?
It's pretty long.
Is the range the same as? I mean,
Looking it up. Okay, you are lightning, right? So it's a 30-foot line.
yeah, it's a 30-foot line, but I want to. But I mean, what's my range? I mean, how close do I have
30
to
foot.
be?
Yeah.
That's your breath weapon.
Because
From
it
where you
comes
are to
from your
30 feet.
mouth.
Okay, but before we made the line go across. Oh, I never mind. It must. Never mind.
It comes from you. You can't breathe away from you.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna shoot it
Okay.
with with. Yeah, just with my longbow for now.
Okay.
22.
That hits.
All right.
Isn't that with
And-
advantage?
No.
No, not anymore.
Kibble's not on the map, by the way.
Yeah, it's over by
He's
me.
over here by
By Leo.
Leo, but I'll put him over there by you.
Yeah, he should be by me. And then I am going to roll my. Hold on.
Bugs.
Roll my damage there,
Okay.
and then plus the hunter's mark damage.
All right. So very much as with Jacobus, you watch and the arrow shoots through and it does appear to do some damage to the creature, but it's not, it doesn't have anything solid to,
Okay.
impact.
Kibble's gonna make her react. Cause she can't make a reaction attack from back here. can
Please
she?
don't make your bird try to swat water.
I know.
It has to
I'm
be
not
next
gonna
to it
make.
to attack it.
Okay,
Doesn't
yeah,
range attack.
she's not over there, so
It's an
I'm not
empty
gonna send her.
bird.
I'm not gonna send her. Okay, then that ends my turn because I only get one attack, right? Yes.
Yeah, you get
Yes.
another attack with your
Okay. This one then is going to continue to skirt along, but unable to makes a swipe as to go for Jacobus, but its reach is just not quite long enough, and that ends its turn. Brings us back to you, Davi.
The giant water monster is getting a little close for my taste.
Not for Davi's.
The water
He's going
monster
after it.
looks at Rafferty, and Rafferty pisses himself.
All right.
Seems legit.
Before she moves up, however, she is going to cast. Yeah, she's going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Is that concentration?
That is not a Yes, it is a concentration spell. Why?
It would drop the shield of whatever on.
Oh, is that a concentration spell? Okay, then never mind. Is that one concentration? It sure is. She will cast then a blindness. Can she get to that? Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so she will move up one more step. She can. And she will cast blindness on the one that was by Jacobus,
Okay.
which is that spell right there. So I guess does it get a save?
Choose one feature.
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
Okay.
Which is an 8, so I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
tells
Okay.
that.
So it's blind, and then she is going to turn around and she is going to whack the hell out of this other one.
Okay.
Does it have real eyes?
I mean, it is not immune to being blinded, so apparently so.
Interesting.
Either way, she's okay.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
actually,
try
I
to throw
guess I
sand
can't
at
attack because I
everything we
did a
fight.
spell.
Dava used pocket sand. It's super effective.
Since I did a spell, I can't, but she's on the other one, so
Okay. All right.
it's my action.
Any
Okay,
attacks against a
Kat.
blinded creature has advantage, by the way.
Okay. All right. So I am going
We'll add
to
the advantagey thing.
lightning strike the thing again.
Okay, same one.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the top one. There we go. That's a little better.
Which one is blind?
All right,
top
the top one. With all the ridiculous baubles that mean nothing, but they're there. Okay, that is a dex save.
Yes, deck save.
Okay, and it fails at a 13, so it takes all full 19 damage.
Then I am going to move. Is there a way I did this so that I could like? This makes me angry because I just did a thing. Whatever. I'm moving here.
Okay.
You moved forward and back one?
No. There's a combination of things you can do to like show the measurement tool while you're moving your token, but it's not working for me in Chrome.
Okay. So are you good, Cog?
Yep.
Okay. That brings us to you, says.
Just checking ranges because I'm not comfortable standing this close to giant water monster.
Poor Rafferty. He's having
60
a
foot and over.
time.
Elder
Yeah.
Flap's got 120 foot.
Yeah,
That's
warlocks are basically you don't have to move unless you're running away. So
Yeah, you got 120. You can walk back up on land and still shoot him.
I'm gonna like get behind your list and I'm gonna kind of peek out and give it the
Okay.
finger guns.
Okay.
Oh, hey. Well, I mean, all things considered.
And this is an advantage.
Yes, if you're going for the top guy.
Why do we have advantage
Okay.
on the top guy?
Unfortunately, that misses.
He's blind.
Because he's blind. so he
Oh.
can't
I
dodge.
get to do it. I get to be spectacularly bad at this game twice in a row.
Wait. So does that top guy automatically fail deck saves?
I
He's
don't
got disadvantage on
think
things that requires.
so. Oh,
Disadvantage
yes, he
attack rolls.
automatically fails ability checks. Yes, good call.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
checks
that
require
requires
sight.
sight. So, yeah, with a deck save, yeah, I would think so,
Oh
given
my
that he was
god,
dodging
guys,
light.
these rolls.
Okay,
I mean,
So
So,
add 4 to that.
that
we
does
already
hit.
did
So, but hey, you got him, you know? So,
When the GM has to encourage you.
no, I'm rooting for you. I really am. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I'm good for right now. I want to keep Hex in my back pocket for now.
So this guy is going to move on down here, chasing after Jacobus.
Does
attack
Cat
rolls
got
have
an
a-
opportunity attack?
Yes,
He
he
can't
does.
see Kagus, so you know.
So he's going by me, so I'm going to cast Primal Savagery because of my War Mage thing.
Okay.
Warcaster. Doop-doop-doo. Primal
Good advantage.
Savagery.
Yeah, advantage.
Advantage.
You hit him. You hit
Okay,
him.
that hits.
Nice.
Right.
Wow.
It's
Damn.
And
awesome.
you are watching as this spout is slowly, like it's definitely disintegrating now. You are nailing it, railing into it. It moves on down towards you, Jacobus, and with my spectacular rolls, the first one is going to hit for 9.
With disadvantage because it's blind.
Yeah. Which disadvantage? But I don't think it needs to be disadvantage anyway on that one. The second one, it is a crit at first. Oh, and the second one is a 19. Okay, so you didn't get crit. So that's going to be 25
Jesus.
total to hit.
The hits.
Uh,
I don't
and
have
so
Jacobus cheat, but I can tell you it's hits.
My plus
that
2
is
did
gonna
not help
be-
against that.
16 points of damage.
I am KO'd.
Oh, Jesus.
So, as you go, and Jacobus falls,
I'll fall over or not.
both of these spirits actually immediately sink back down into the water.
Okay, let's drag him onto shore before we revive him.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm
Okay.
with you.
Far
Alright.
onto shore.
What did we learn?
That there's a
Dad.
defense on this bridge that keeps probably demons out.
That we can't have Jacobus along with us.
Is Jacobus a demon?
Throw him in the water and leave him.
Throw him in the water and leave him. We
Right.
can't. do
Davy will
that.
drag Jackie over, and she will. Crap! I'm out of first level spells.
It's okay. I've got
I'll-
a cantrip for this that'll immediately stabilize him because I'm.
Yeah, I've
Right.
got a cantrip that'll stabilize him. I can
It
do
doesn't wake
Spare
him
the
up.
Dying, but
I'll come
to
over
heal
and
him.
cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
She makes it
Bad
sound
news.
like it costs her so much. Jesus.
Well, I'm not the healer.
well, I mean, I can heal stuff. It's just that it's big stuff that would heal like the whole group. So
right. No, I understand, and I'll.
I hate
I'll
to waste them.
I mean,
I'll
you
cast
can
it at
upcast
level.
a Cure
I'll
Wounds.
cast it at level 2.
As you guys go and start healing him and casting Cure Wounds,
Leah's gonna
Yes,
stand there
that-
on the bridge.
Leo wanders off into the swamp, as the
Devil
members of the
bridge.
academy are wont to do.
I guess I healed him for 8.
12.
Oh, okay.
So
That's true. I can cast this at a higher level spell.
So you got 12 back, Jackie.
All right.
But
so
I now have no more second level spell slots. Just saying.
I will cast Cure Light Wounds at second level, which will use all my second level spell slots and my first level spell slots.
as you guys are attending to Jacobus, Yernan, you can see now, is actually visibly disgruntled for the first time since you've had him along.
Oh no,
He
poor
kind of-
guy.
Walks off a little bit and looks out into nothing and calls just into the swamp. I'll have you know, you are interfering with the business of the wild hunt. For a moment, there's nothing.
Which direction was he looking?
Just kind of looking, definitely on the side of the bridge that you were on, but just kind of looking into the horizon. He does appear to be speaking into the void to a degree. And there's a moment of just silence. Nothing really happens. And then you see as these 2 white cranes actually take flight from the brush nearby. And they come and land at the edge of the bridge near where you guys are. And as their feet touch, they actually transform into a pair of humanoids. Let me find them.
I was wondering who conjured those up.
All right. So,
Guys, we've left the Feywild and we've gone to a Final Fantasy game.
Kind of same thing, isn't it?
their hair, their white hair is, just kind of like interwoven with all these feathers. Their figures are light and lithe like the birds that they once were. They stand shoulder to shoulder, and as they speak, they actually speak in unison. And they look directly at Yurn and they say, "Our apologies, Master Huntsman. We had sought to defend the Queen's land, not to restrict your progress. Is this creature in your care?" And they gesture towards Jacobus as you guys kind of tend to him. And Yernan nods and he says, "Yes, they're all in my care. What are you looking to defend from?"
Kind of an overstatement if you ask me, but all right.
I mean, his care kind of sucks.
And they note, "The creatures that have invaded our lands, that have chased so many out already." Yernan looks back at you guys.
So,
I'm guessing that
We're not the ones that have chased anybody off your lands
wait,
or come to hurt you. We've come to try to figure out what's going on.
what's been chased off your lands?
The residents, those who would normally live here, everyone is leaving. Since Dorasane's army has come.
Says
Whose
whose
army?
army?
Doris.
I'll high five Aelith. Which means like this, you know.
Like, we're both like,
Everyone
what?
roll every dice you can to figure out what that name means.
Does it sound familiar at all?
You can roll a religion check, Dobby.
It's the traveler.
Oh, it's the traveler.
It doesn't. But as you and Eurolith, tending to Jacobus, look up and pipe up in unison, who? You know, they both look to you, also in unison, with a little bit of a smirk at the fact that you answered together. And they also answer together. Doris saying, the blasphemous one, he who betrayed the ways and corrupted himself.
Hi, this is the second time we've heard about a betrayal. I mean, there is certainly something going on. I'm just going to throw that out there.
All right. So, who did he betray?
Dorisane was an elf, much like yourself, and he thought that he was keeping to Coralon's ways, feasting upon the strong as he took them over. But instead he found himself appealing to one of the demons who rewarded him with a new form and immortal life.
That.
Wow. So he's following that one that expects cannibalism then. Which one is that, Jackie? Orcus? Or what's the thingy? No, Orcus, yeah. That's what you said earlier. Oh.
He was cast out by the Celadrin who might have saved him. But he has grown in power since then and amassed quite an army from what we have seen.
That doesn't sound good. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there, everybody.
And he's here in the Feywild?
We have not seen Dorisane himself, but we have seen enough of his creatures to fear that he may arrive.
Do I look like a ghoul?
Do you look like a ghoul?
How many times have you been knocked out today?
There are many strange creatures about. You look like nothing we have seen before.
Well, nor do I, but you didn't come after me.
True, but you are clearly of dragonkin of some sort.
It's literally what I am, but okay.
He's all right. He's one of us.
If he travels with the hunt, then his business is none of ours.
Yeah, that's right. Mind your business.
Damn it, I wasted a second level spell on this.
Yernan actually looks back over to them at that, and he says, my time grows short, and I need to reach the swamp's rose. Is there anyone you know, that could aid us in getting there faster? And they look at him and they think for a moment and they say, we could appeal to Pedrick, see if he is near and could loan you his boat.
Oh, a boat!
Gives a nod at that, and he's like, yes, I'll be needing this aid.
I immediately insight check Rafferty at mention of the boat.
Why would you do that? You can't allow metagaming, Casta.
I want to smell his fear.
So the pair of crane humanoids look to Yearn and then back to all of you and say, very well. Is there anything else before we go fetch him?
Uh-oh. No.
I don't know, guys. I'm just following Davy at this point.
Nope, you're following me. We're. No.
Hey, Davy got on the bridge. I wasn't getting on that bridge.
You're still standing in the water and Davi's on the land.
Lord have mercy.
Okay.
I mean, we've healed up Jackie as much as we can, I guess.
For the moment.
Yeah. So I guess
Okay.
we're gonna wait to jump on this boat.
Yep.
And with that, they begin to walk, quickly
we have to get on
transform
the
back into
boat.
cranes, and take flight. You guys wait with Yernan about 30 minutes or so.
Is that a short rest?
Yeah, actually, if you want to make it a short rest, you totally can. I will give you a short rest with it. If there's anything you want to, if there's any, what was it you called it? Character building. You have time to kind of catch your breath. And,
Did you add the 15 hit point from
Which?
Dobby too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
did.
you got 12 from me and 15 from Davi, so that should have helped out immensely.
It did.
Is that the second time today you've face planted?
I mean,
Did the
everyone's
orcs knock you out?
perfect, but
Well, I'm pretty sure that Jackie's not meant to be a tank. But he sort of ends up that way.
He's pretty good at it.
He's catching those blows right in the face. He's good.
I'm not getting hit, so it's working.
So, given your short rest, we'll say about 45 minutes in or so, you see this individual actually come paddling up through the waters. He's wearing a gray cloak with a hood that's kind of like pulled down over their face, but there have been slits cut to accompany the two very rodent-shaped ears that are peeking from its head, and a long worm-like tail sticks from behind the cloak. The boat that it's in is actually very similar to the ones that you saw in Sloop It Up. It's wide and it's got kind of a flat bottom, and he is pushing it along with a pole. It definitely seems to be very shallow to accompany the varying depths of water. On the back of the boat, it actually has, following in the water, two undead humanoids that are chained. They have like chain collars around their neck, and they are chained to the back parts of the boat, and they just kind of slosh in its wake, their mouths agape and their eyes distant as it slowly approaches this bridge where you guys have all kind of set up temporarily.
No.
rest.
I really am not feeling good about this boat, guys.
Me either.
The
I think we effectively not allowed Davi to make any more decisions about anything. Where are we going?
the rodent person looks up and actually looks to Yernan directly, and dips his head and says, "Huntsman." And Yernan dips his head in return and says, "I require your boat." "Of course." And he steps out. He goes and starts unchaining his little pets from the back of the boat.
Well,
During which all Jacobus manages to complete his short rest.
I got all those spells I didn't just use on the water elementals back.
Okay. So the rat person, trailing his undead behind him, kind of comes over and like hooks them up to some kind of a brush or something, keeping up a fair distance from them. Offers the pole out to Yernan. And Yernan looks to the rest of you.
All right, well, I'm gonna go and hop on the boat because he's going. So, Jackie, you don't have to get on the boat.
that's true. I don't.
The boat does seat 6, from what you can tell.
imagine there's 7 of us.
Well, one of us can walk.
Yep.
Are we just gonna make Jacobus yog behind the boat?
Yeah.
Make you
He just
turn
died.
into a small
Now he's got to
animal.
run.
Take back your short rest.
This is your calisthenics.
Cag, turn into a newt and sit in someone's lap.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
Also, I get the middlemost seat, like the middlemost seat, dead center of the boat.
Where the floor
Hey,
is the
guys.
weakest and will fall out
He's
first.
going to turn into a spider again, isn't he?
As you guys all pile into the boat.
Let's see. What are my options?
As Cog decides you guys pile into the boat, the two cranes do return, and they kind of end up landing and transforming on either side of this mouse humanoid, whatever it may be. And they just all kind of watch you quietly. They talk a little bit to each other. The cranes always speaking in unison as they look into this mouse in between them. Yernan doesn't seem to pay them any real mind. He's kind of returned to his normal stoic, apathetic.
So are they? Are these cranes that can appear human, or humans appear as cranes?
Are you asking?
Yes.
She's gonna make your roll.
I'm asking you.
You're asking Yernan? Yernan actually kind of lets out a little bit of a chuckle at that, and he goes, "Well, I suppose that depends upon who you ask. Are you an elf that appears human, or a human that appears elf?"
I'm neither. I'm a half elf.
Then I suppose you might term them half crane.
No, they're all crane. I can see them. Earlier, they were all human.
Well, clearly things are a little bit different here in the Feywild.
He can turn into a spider. He's not half spider. He'd be a half a lot of things.
He looks at you at that, Cog, and he goes, "That's a curious trick."
And I'm going to turn into a poisonous snake and find somewhere to hang out in the boat.
Okay.
Now he's
So you
half
guys-
snake.
I'll pile in. Yernan still holding the pole unless anybody intervenes. Will kind of start pulling you guys along, traveling through the water.
I feel it's kind of inappropriate for him to do that in the boat, but
Hey, maybe he'll be useful at this. He hasn't been useful at anything else.
Using the pole as a guide, he kind of checks the depths of the water and he kind of navigates you guys through. And now in the with the boat, you manage to navigate with a fair amount of ease. It does end up taking you a couple hours, but as you draw to a close on that time, you do catch sight of a series of structures up ahead. You actually spot about a dozen dwellings that are raised on stilts, and they're connected by this plank-like bridge, very similar to the one that you just traversed. But it's they're in better repair. They haven't sunken down. It appears that they're being replaced regularly enough. I mean, it is far from a pretty place. Let me see. Let me get you guys on real quick. Nobody be alarmed by the battle map.
All right. I immediately perception check everything.
God,
Okay, hold
he
on.
is such a metagamer.
I'll just.
I
drop
never
you
used to
guys
think
on.
that about Keg, but lately.
What are you talking about?
I didn't
Like-
perception check anything there.
He was like almost the second coming of Man-to-Man McAleer.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means.
Who?
Mac?
Yeah, but
Yes.
no,
you guys
I
can
don't think so.
Power gaming is different than metagaming.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
as you guys approach, you notice that there is absolutely nothing rose-like about the settlement, other than the fact that some of the red roof tiles you can make out a little bit of occasional red hue underneath the moss and muck. You also find no proper dock. But you kind of, Yernan kind of guides the boat over to the nearest, one of the nearest posts, and he ties it off so that you guys can all dismount. When Yernan hops out of the boat, he actually doesn't say a word. He just takes off towards the largest building.
We're killing this guy before this story's over.
Which
No,
is
he said
over
earlier
here.
after you left, there is an oathbreaker here in Swamp Rose, so that's been one of the reasons why he's been.
Okay, well, someone with good dice rolls get out of the boat, and then help me get out of the boat.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of the boat.
Okay. Which isn't easy enough task. You guys all hop out. And Yernan takes off.
Jacobus is going to follow.
Okay.
Dobby's gonna follow.
I'm a snake.
All right.
I don't know
I'm
who
gonna-
I was hanging out on, but I was hanging
You
out on.
can be hanging out on me, I guess.
Sweet.
As you guys head over, you find him. He goes into the largest building that's here. It has a sign hanging above the door that is depicted by this wide-mouthed crane who appears to kind of be doing like a backstroke with one wing, and he's got a frothing mug in the other hand. And the words under it read, "The Tipsy Crane." He walks right in. And that's actually where we're going to leave you guys for next time.
Okay.
I thought we traveled 10 days to find 10 houses in the middle of nowhere.
A day for each house.
Worth.
So, okay. So everybody got 700 experience.
Ooh,
Nice.
ooh, this is my favorite part of the night.
So it puts us at 11,650.
Yeah.
So congratulations on Jacobus for defeating those water elementals for you.
How much do we need for?
Like
Let's
14,000
see.
something.
Yeah, it'll tell us when it's time to level up, unfortunately.
Are we sponsored by Elven Tower now? Cogs, YouTube's finally pay results.
I totally didn't even realize that was still on there.
Oh man. Somebody
Also,
said there's a
everybody,
button tag.
each and one of you, good job on the notes this week. We all did an excellent job.
Yep.
I didn't even think about
I
notes.
wrote a sentence, so I wrote infinitely more than anyone else here.
You win.
I put down the heading.
That is true. I do like your titles a lot, so I kind of let you do that. Truly, I enjoy that.
Well, on this episode of These Jerks Play D&D, Davy and Yurlith went off on a suicidal adventure, and Casta completely wimped out about punishing them for it.
Yeah.
Well, Yurlith did do a very good job at finding Dobby and then being able to navigate them back. So
When she mentioned that she could detect that undead from a mile away, I'm like, well, there they go.
Yep. That part of that story's over.
6
she was able to
miles.
navigate their way back, So, though I will say the moment Dobby is like, I'm going, and I'm like, and I'm making a battle map while you guys talk. The
Hey, she got
curveball
some
you
more
didn't see
soul
coming.
streets.
That's
It was a
true.
win-win.
That's true. Yeah. And if she'd, if her survival had been a little more adept, then she totally could have tracked him
If
down.
her survival had been better, she wouldn't have been dead now.
Yes.
She could have made it.
So make a note. If you make a shitty roll, Casta will let you think you passed.
You don't know.
I didn't know.
I just watched that
She
happen.
followed her path, man.
Davi's life, she's like, fake it till you make it. Like, I'm going to walk
Damn
confidently.
straight.
Or don't.
It got me out of the Underdark. We'll get me out of the swamp. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you
Good night,
guys.
everyone.
All right, love y'all. I will see y'all. I'll be in chat.
Glad I was
Really a
able to
long
come
rest,
back for a little bit at the end of their
Yeah, we're excited. This is like
End of the session.
we should do bonus XP just for like Sezneg's longest time in
Yes,
game.
we should.
I agree.
Hey, I agree.
We should
Like
get
3,000, right?
2,000
Yeah, like-
experience.
We'll
Or
do.
5,000.
Let's see. What did we say? Did we say 7? How much did we say? Where are you guys at?
Yeah, you got
We're
700.
at
11,650.
11,650.
Okay, then we'll do. No joke. We will do 300 extra for group 300 extra for group participation. There we go.
I came
Seriously?
back just in time for you loading
Seriously?
the ricketiest bridge ever, and I was like, should I say I'm back? Or...
Yeah.
So 11,950.
It was
will
you
take it.
came back before the bridge.
Casta learned she has to load random battle maps every now and then.
Just to make us nervous.
Yes. So it's funny. Okay. So Kag, yeah, exactly. Makes me start loading maps, keep you nervous. And it's funny because Kag was actually telling me, gosh, what was it earlier? Earlier today, he was arguing. He said, "Hey, do you have like any battle maps like just on the back burner, just in case things go like different and you might need them?" I'm like, "No, I don't think it's gonna be necessary." And then Dobby's like, "I'm going into the swamp," and I'm like, "And I'm eating my words." I've got these things, and you guys are like, "We're doing this." I'm like, "Okay, okay, yep, okay, we're good."
You thought you could control the party.
Right? I was like, swamp battle maps. Boom,
I
let's
mean,
do this.
you probably really
Could've
should
murdered
prepare
I've
for
seen.
things like that because, to be honest,
True.
I mean, have you noticed? I mean, Earless is pretty easily swayed to do whatever.
He's pretty headstrong.
So, I mean, had Jackie wanted to go off on a murder spree, she would have probably gone if he didn't get enough case.
That's true. Jackie has gone and just backstabbed shit. And Dobby's backed his ass up. Did he back her up tonight?
Hang.
No.
So
I say
Kega from freaking werewolfism. Did he back her up?
No.
I would come with you.
Rafferty said he was going to back her up. Did he back her up?
First of all,
Leo's the only one I can believe anymore. At least he says what he does.
I earned
was
my
very straightforward.
werewolfism by trading a dragon egg for you people. Because right
But
now,
you're-
we could
Earless
totally be
totally
lugging
had your
around
back.
a dragon egg.
Because you know what makes the swamp even better? Finding room in the boat for the dragon egg. Hey, Jacobus, run high.
The hole by now.
Oh, that's fair.
That'd be one
I
dead
just-
dragon by now.
But Davi has
I
to understand
can't.
that I pulled the greatest trick I'm likely to ever pull this entire campaign in getting that orc to talk.
That's true.
It only
That was
took
good.
10 minutes of setup.
So I'll admit, I think my first oversight was when I totally didn't expect you guys to talk to the Revenant.
You're like,
I was
wait,
like, I should have seen this coming.
But you hadn't talked to us. Of course we were going to talk to
that's
it.
never
true.
what we
That's
do.
true.
Are you serious? Your always like, rah, kill it with fire.
It's like you see
There were
something in the
orcs
distance,
before.
let's go kill it.
I mean, the last time you guys ran into orcs, you were like, we're just going to stab it. And this time you're like, let's see what they have to say. It was like,
This
okay.
time-
that's because
This time I
Rafferty-
was at the table, yeah.
Because Rafferty
So-
said we should talk to one of them, and we thought, well,
That's
Yeah,
what I
maybe.
said last time, and you ran up and backstabbed them.
But these were like almost dead, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
um,
Tab, what is your persuasion?
Plus
Eh,
7.
it's
Okay, I
better
also
than
have
yours.
plus 7. He is equal to mine.
Well,
Oh.
I mean, you know, but I mean, he does have the whole. But see, when Rafferty says it, because Earless thinks he's a little bit shady, she thinks that it's probably a good strategy. She just trusts Leo.
Wait, what?
But when Davi, the
So she
cleric,
doesn't
says,
trust
"Let's follow
Rafferty,
the
so she listens.
go."
That's
No, she
what?
doesn't listen. She just thinks that a shady person would make suggestions like that, and that would probably be good ideas.
That makes no sense.
I never said Earless made a whole lot of sense.
No.
No one
We figured that out tonight. Believe you me. If there was any question,
if anybody's going to follow their heart, it's going to be Davi, though.
I mean,
and Davi's heart lies with a revenant.
But he's gonna follow this friendly undead guy.
Guys,
Davi-
guys, you
Davi-
do realize that if
Gets our
Davi had
sympathy.
died, you realize if Davi had died because we didn't follow her, she would have turned into a revenant and hunted us down.
That's all right.
You know what?
That might have been fun. Guys,
That would've
could that
been
have been my
hilarious.
next character?
So there's actually totally a Revenant homebrew class. So.
yes.
You see this dwarf
Oh
come
my
back with
God.
fire in her eyes.
Literal fire.
That
Be a
is
very
amazing.
short-lived character.
Gonna be water for you, Rafferty.
Where's my $2?
Oh my god.
Where's my $2?
I wondered who'd get that.
Oh my god. Y'all are the best. I swear.
I love family.
It really is great.
It is.
Uh, uh,
I'm so glad we started this.
Yeah,
Thank you so
I really
much for
enjoy it.
doing it, Casta.
It's a lot of fun. It really is.
I'm
So
glad it's fun for you too, because I worry because you have to put up with all of us.
no, that's the best part.
I debated not having Davi go off because I didn't want to make it harder on you, but she just.
No, listen, no, seriously. Listen, I'm game. You know, like if you had crit that roll, I would have been like, you were on his ass. You
You know,
know,
the thing is, had it been anybody else but Kega arguing with her, she might not have done it. But the fact that the last time he argued with her, a huge ass demon got summoned.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest, if you had
Stings.
gone anywhere else but to the deep swamp, I would have followed you.
Rafferty's
That's
like,
true.
nope.
She can forgive Rafferty. She understands that.
Oh no. See, that's just crazy. But whatever. It's I swear this is
I'm telling you, get on her sympathetic side and you're good.
I don't know. So we are not resting or anything at the moment. We're just still.
Davi is down to literally, I think, 2 third-level
How
spells,
many?
and that's it.
But we've been going for
one of each.
9 hours since.
Yeah, you're up to about 9 hours now.
But there's an inn here. We'll sleep there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll sleep
probably
at the inn
rest
Hopefully.
soon.
We go see what this Yingloth jerk is
Probably
doing.
perfectly fine. Not at all. Slaughtered bodies just dismembered all over the place.
Lord have mercy. I mean, and this place looks kind of rough, right? It doesn't look very pretty.
I mean, if you want for planning purposes, I can tell you what I like. I'm not trying to cut you short. I can tell you what you see when you go into the inn. I'm just trying to respect people's bedtimes.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
No, I
after
know.
midnight for
Painted
you guys.
pentagrams
Is
and
it-
blood on the walls. And
no. So when you go in, there is it smells strongly of like alcohol and mildew. It's pretty nasty looking in.
Yeah.
my
Um,
favorite.
Yeah, the floorboards do groan. The furnishings and decorations are sparse, and it is completely empty and silent, aside from a single goblin who's behind the counter, who you see visibly chokes on the mug of whatever he's drinking as the huntsman comes in. Definitely startled by your arrival, but no pentagrams, no blood. It's not a very cozy looking place, but it
Can I
does
start
still
drawing
have some
some?
inhabitants. So there you
Leo
go.
will
So now
walk
you kinda
around
have-
presidentationing everything in the room to clean it.
Leo cleans it. So now you guys kind of have at least, a launching, an idea of what you're walking into next week. So
All right. I mean, it sounds like fun. I can't wait.
Sweet.
all right.
Oh, did
Can't
we
wait for the
land on
long
we're
list.
having another session tomorrow, right?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Wait,
You guys
DM
have
paused.
a good night.
I can't tomorrow night.
Well, that was not a no. Oh, you can't.
No.
Now,
Oh.
I've always been told, unless they expressly say yes and they're not inebriated, it's a no.
Oh Lord. She said, "I don't know."
I'm staying the hell away from that.
Yeah. We don't
Congratulations.
want to know why you were told
Gone
that,
too
Kate.
far.
Because of
Yeah,
my
how many
military
times have we had this
training,
discussion?
I
Yeah,
have
that's
literally
true.
had don't rape people briefings.
Every
My Lord.
weekend.
Listen,
Every week.
No, it's
I'm not even kidding.
You know, we're
Yeah.
here this Sunday.
so there's
I'll
like
be
official
honest.
training once a quarter, and like we have safety briefings, and it's like, remember, boys.
Was it like a PowerPoint?
Yes, the
No.
quarterly briefing was a PowerPoint. It's like
Was it a bullet point?
well, I was gonna say when I was in Okinawa, literally more dudes got in trouble for sexually assaulting the local people than actual local crime. It was ridiculous,
yep,
and DUIs and the whole 9 yards.
yep.
It was pretty bad.
Mm. That's sad.
Mostly
Military
Marines.
people are the worst.
They're terrible.
Glad we're keeping it cheerful and light.
Well, I mean,
No, I mean, it's
That
true, though.
discussion
No,
already-
it really
okay,
is a big
okay.
game.
yeah. So.
Okay.
All right, to
thank
bed.
you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Good
Good night.
night.
Love y'all.
Night, guys.
Bye.
Right.